without question. He has done his job. He's given Buffalo an opportunity to win every hockey game in this series. That save percentage, third overall in the National Hockey League. So Steve Shields has done his job, and I know the team is very confident, and they are very confident that he can do it here again tonight.
And of course, they're looking for other people to pick up the load, and that includes Matt Barnaby, as he'll tell you what he thinks they should be doing now.
Well, I think first of all we got to score more goals than them, Dennis. You know, we just got to play our key to a key tonight. We're as good a team as them, we feel, and we've deserved 2 out of the 3 games, but the bounces weren't there, and maybe in the third game we didn't work as hard as we're capable of. So we're going to have to give it all. I mean, our backs are against the wall. Every cliche you can think of we can use tonight. So we're just going to take it one shift at a time, one period at a time, and see what happens at the end of the night.
Barnaby's got it right. They got to use all the cliches in this game. Let's go back downstairs now to... And Eric Lindros, of course, has been the biggest factor, I'm sure, as far as the Philadelphia Flyers are concerned. In my mind, anyway. He was not the first star in the last game, but he was in my book.
He was in mine, too. I thought he was a dominating player in Game 3 here at the Spectrum. And, of course, you know, when you look at or examine his game throughout this series so far, maybe the points and the goals and assists aren't there, but the dominance when he's on the ice is certainly there. It's a big distraction. The Sabres have to counter. They have to make the line changes to try to get at least the defensemen out there, and Schmelik and Zhitnik, who incidentally done a pretty good job against Eric, but he's a great player, and we're starting to see why he's their best player.
Well, the Buffalo Sabres, of course, coming into this game, have to win in order to play another game on Sunday afternoon back in Buffalo. We'll see how they make out coming up in just a moment on Empire.
With its legendary capabilities and tough quadricoil suspension, Jeep Grand Cherokee can take you to all kinds of places far from home. Or not so far from home. Now lease a legend Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for $339 a month. Check one out at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Come on, show me a new smile. Oh, I see. We're all grown up now. Pretty soon, it'll be boyfriends, tuition, a wedding. No, sorry, just kidding. I suppose pretty soon you'll be needing a car.
Really?
Really? That's a smile.
Dad.
Oh, that was a smile. I think we can take a check. Check, please.
Did you know Buffalo Hardwood has one of the largest selections of hardwood flooring in the USA? Buffalo Hardwood offers award-winning installation and professional advice for do-it-yourselfers. We have monthly installation demonstrations for hardwood flooring and original Pergo. Buffalo Hardwood also has everything you need to take care of your floors. Call 651-WOOD for our next installation demonstration.
Buffalo Hardwood.
We'll show you how.
Straight to the play. Ready for the face-off here in game number 4 at the Core State Center as referee Rob Schick. The linesmen are Shane Heyer and Jay Shars, the gentleman who handled the last game in this building on Wednesday night. Zhitnik tried to tip it in, but that one skips right into the Philadelphia bench. And 5 seconds into this game, we're going to have a face-off coming up in the neutral zone, and Steve Shields suspected later this afternoon that he might be the starting goaltender when it was hinted that Dominic Hasek did have a problem and would not be able to go. And a little bit of talking going on now down there. And at the other end, Garth Snow is in between the pipes again for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Now, Michael Peckett put his stick between the legs of Lindros, spun him around. Lindros sort of went back at Peckett, and Buffalo made a quick change. Brad May stepped onto the ice, immediately tried to get at Lindros.
Looks back toward the bench again. It's picked up now. Zhitnik trying to get away. Lindros got a piece of him. No jam on the board. Zhitnik is all over Lindros. It's tapped into the corner. Alec back after it. Smelly trying to roll it around behind the net. He flipped it. And that one goes out of play, and now we've got everybody cruising around again. Sabres Playoff Hockey is brought to you in part by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. And by Dodge, the new Dodge. See your Team Dodge dealer today. And just 19 seconds into this game, we've already had a couple of whistles. Pekka and Lindros remain on the ice on the faceoff. Pekka winning this draw. Taken by Zhitnik, kicked around to May. May knocking it down. Now he whips it out at center. Daw coming to Pekka. Pekka swings in over the line. Took his shot, and Snow got a piece of that. Zhitnik trying to hold it in there and dives. Lindros, he gets nailed by Pekka. Back to the point, head back into the corner. Daw scooping it up. Daw bangs it around behind the net. Pekka tying up Dykhouse. Here's May getting it out in front. That slipped across ice, and the Flyers will tip it back into Buffalo territory. Now Philadelphia making a change, and the Sabres as well, and the linesman, Shane Heyer, almost got bowled over. Not cleared to center, down goes Audette. It's flipped right back in again. Charging in there, Zhitnik trying to tap it around on the boards. He took a hit, came right in front of the net again. It's swept away by Podine. Podine keeping it in, gunning it around to the other side. Audette unable to get there in time. Now it's picked up. Schmelik tapping it back around to Zhitnik. The Sabres still are trying to complete a change. Zhitnik got it to the line, but not out. Kept in by the Flyers again. The shot by Cloud is right on, and Shields got a leg on that one. And back in the corner again. Pekka trying to pry it free. Goes after it again. Ducking away from Otto. Pekka swinging it to May. May working it up at center. Got away from Audette. It slips down the ice, and this will be icing against Buffalo. And our Vicks deep discount scratches tonight.
Well, of course, Dominic Hasek did try it in the warm-up. Could not go. Mike Wilson is a healthy scratch, as is Wayne Primo. That means that Ronan is in the lineup along with Jay McKee. First action of the playoffs. John Druce, Crossbull, and Samuelson, the Philadelphia scratches. Now, one thing that plagued Ted Nolan's Hockey Club in Game 3 here in Philadelphia was giving the puck away in their own zone. And moments ago, they did it again. And Steve Shields made an absolutely brilliant stop off a quick shot by Klatt, 20 feet in front. So if they're going to win this game, Sabres must cut down on those giveaways in the defensive zone.
Kelly flinging it around to Bugner, tried to work it ahead. That's tipped out to center. Holzinger catches up with it. Tapped it in over the line. Desjardins recovering. Desjardins swinging it up the middle. Brind'Amour will work it to the side. Now chopped ahead for Brind'Amour again. Bugner got in front of it. Came in front. Howard took the shot. Great save by Shields. Holzinger coming back again. Holzinger tapping one in. That'll deflect to the corner. Ward trying to scoop it around behind the net. Get tied up, goes after it again. It's clipped free, and now to head out to center ice. Brind'Amour leaving it there. Going away is Balloon. He loses control and taken now by Galley up to Audette. Got away from him. Coffey recovers as they're making a change. Coffey swings it ahead. Coming back is Renberg. Renberg trying to cut in on goal. Slapped it beside the net. He lost control of it, and it's recovered and fired off the boards. May doesn't get it out. Dykhouse keeping it in. And then he poked that one right up into the crowd.
Now, Steve Shields has had 2 shots on goal here in the first 2.5 minutes, and twice he has been brilliant. First on the shot by Klatt, and then most recently the Flyers' Dale Howardchuk could not score. Watch the puck come to the front of the net as Brind'Amour causes a turnover. This is what I was talking about. Remember the turnovers in the defensive zone, and look what results. I think as Howardchuk shot that puck, the puck flipped up on in. That gave a bit of an advantage to the goaltender, but Terry Murray, his club, starting with 2 quality scoring chances and no goals.
Buffalo change up on defense and does. Leclerc starts back. Leclerc weaving in over the line. Took his shot. That one misses. Lindros collecting it in the corner. Tapping it around to Leclerc on the other side. To Renberg. It ends up on the mesh. Chopped off by Renberg, but too late. The referee Schick had already blown the whistle, and the faceoff will go outside the blue line.
Michael Renberg, number 19 for the Flyers, such a talented player on this line, along with Lindros and John Leclerc. Renberg, very, very skilled and great skater. Of course, you could say dittos for Leclerc and Lindros, but Renberg, who missed Game 3 with the flu, back in the lineup tonight for the Flyers. Should mention that Zubris filled in for Renberg and did a terrific job on that line on game 3.
Well, now it's Kordic coming out with Lacroix and Zubris. And Kordic and Barnaby with a little whack at each other. Kordic trying to get Barnaby into a fight, still pushing at him, and there's going to be a penalty here to Philadelphia. So Barnaby did his job. He just waited there and said, come on, keep pushing, keep hitting, and Kordic is gone. 3 minutes into the opening period. Buffalo will have the man advantage next on Empire.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Man, my party is lame. I think I got some skunky beer.
Sir, relax. When was your beer born?
Born? What are you talking about?
It doesn't have a born-on date?
A what?
Do you have any Budweiser?
No, man, you gotta help me.
Okay, remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
Born on dating from Budweiser. What fresh beer tastes like.
Go! Sir, put down the skunky beer and slowly back away.
Announcing a grand opening so grand the world has stopped to notice. It's the grand opening of the all-new Best Dodge. Come see our all-new facility, all-new Dodge cars and trucks, our state-of-the-art dealership. Best Dodge kicks off this extraordinary event with out-of-this-world 3.9 financing with no money down on every new Dodge car and truck. Plus, you get free lifetime oil changes, state inspections, and free loaners. You can't do better than Best. At Southtown Auto Mall on Southwestern Boulevard, Orchard Park. Best Dodge.
This is Matthew Barnaby and Dan Kordic. And Kordic is going to get a penalty for retaliating. And Matt Barnaby did his job, does it so well as he draws Kordic into the penalty. 2 minutes for roughing and an early Buffalo power play. And that's something the Flyers were swore that they would stay away from tonight with Matt Barnaby, and they commit the first infraction less than 3 minutes into this game.
Finger now, get in the corner to Plant, and Derek Plant turn to come away to center. Into Philadelphia territory. Plant scoots it behind the net. Burridge catching up with the puck. Got to get it around to Audette, and does. Audette trying to swing it back to the point. Does now over to Holzinger, and he gets checked, and it's bounced out over the line to center ice. Shields coming out to give it to Holzinger again. Watched by Brindamore. Burridge has to go back after it. 1:20 left in the man advantage. Galley starts away, this time for Buffalo. Galley swinging it now to Plant. Dished it in over the line. Went all the way to Audette, chipping it in to Burridge. Burridge feeding it behind the net. Plant tried to get it back to the point. Holzinger kept it in, at least momentarily, but now Plant swings it down the ice. And Galley comes over to cut off Brindamore and send it ahead to Audette. Audette coming back in over the line. Here's Audette in front, deflected right on. Kept but not out. It's back, it comes to Holzinger. He clears it back into the corner. Held in there by Plant, dropping it off again. Shaw trying to stuff it along the boards. Plant bumping. Got it free to Audette out in front. Galley the shot scores! Gary Galley ripping the shot and has been screened on the goaltender, and the Buffalo Sabres capitalize on the power play to get a 1-0 lead.
Well, a great shot by Gary Galley. Kordic's penalty hurts Philadelphia, but what made this play was the Buffalo movement inside the Philadelphia zone. Here comes the final result. A great pass from Donald Audette, and Audette makes certain that he stays out of the goal crease. What a shot by Galley along the ice to beat Garceau. And I think that's one area where they have to shoot the puck lower on this guy. Talked about his shoulder pads covering the top of the net. Galley made the perfect shot along the ice, and they're reviewing this, but this isn't even close.
Why am I not surprised that they're reviewing it? I mean, it's a case of more reviews than not reviews. Playoff so far, unfortunately.
There's the huge shoulder pads of Garceau. Of course, we talk when he goes down, he covers the top of the net. Look at the size of him. And I believe the Sabres have to keep the puck low. It is a goal, of course, we knew that. The Sabres lead 1-0 on the power play.
We were in a cab after the game skate this morning, heading back to the hotel, and we're listening on the radio to a talk show on WIP, and the talk show hosts, and there were two of them, were exhorting the Flyers to beat up Matt Barnaby. I mean, they were almost pleading the Philadelphia team. This is the same station that carries the Philadelphia Flyers game.
Well, Ted Nolan said Also, he felt that the Flyers had Barnaby as a marked man and was going to have Brad May on the ice every opportunity when Barnaby was there, just in case something broke out. Barnaby, boy, does his job perfectly, and the Sabres capitalize on it as Kordic took the penalty and the Sabres scored.
Shields swinging it around on the boards, but Lindros keeping it in. Tipped it back into the corner, sent beside the net, and taken away by Galley. Galley flinging it up to Pekka, off his stick, however, and right to Swoboda. Peter Swoboda finding Lindros at center. Shannon takes it away, trying to get it to Pekka. Pekka will flip it in over the line. Ward charging in after it. Here's Ward trying to get it in front. It's taken away, and the foul play is called.
Now, Eric Lindros just took a stupid penalty. This is the second undisciplined penalty. He's been doing this throughout the series. He was mad at Michael Pekka. He chopped him down to the ice at the Philadelphia blue line, and he did not argue. He knew it. 2 minutes for slashing and another Buffalo power play. And so the Philadelphia game plan is going to pieces here in the early going.
But the only thing Buffalo can do is keep scoring with these power play opportunities.
That would be the secret. There's the flash on Pekka. Rob Schick immediately put the arm up in the air, as he should have. Let's see, again, this power play is interesting. Terry Murray in the first 2 games played a passive box in his zone. In Game 3, he began to force Buffalo, and that worked. But here, in the first time the Sabres had the man advantage, they got movement going, and that countered the forcing of Philadelphia.
Otto now, he'll take his time, clear it up the middle, not out. Galley holding it in. Galley trying to set it up now, works it down low. The corner, Audette cleared it in front, but it's stolen away, and the Flyers will send it down the ice with Codine. Holzinger back there for Buffalo, trying to pull away from Brindamore, and does. Holzinger can dangle. It's in over the Philadelphia line. Holzinger swinging it around behind the net, but too far. Swoboda got it on the boards. That's chopped, but not out. Galley pinching in to hold it in there. They all pile in the corner. Finally, Swoboda working it to Dykhouse. He'll take his time, come to center, and tap one down the ice. Fields misses that. Here's Platt chasing after it. Platt behind the net, trying to feed it out in front. Platt's got it again. He finally is taken out, and there's going to be a penalty coming up now to Buffalo. A long shot that Fields flags down and hangs on to, and now the Sabres are going to be penalized for the first time in the game with 1:05 left in the Lindros penalty.
A roughing or boarding penalty that Schiff assesses to Gary Galley. Galley took Platt into the boards hard up in the left wing, the Sabre zone, and so it's four-side. 1:05 remaining in the penalty to Lindros.
Number 3, Gary Galley.
Here's the play. Watch Galley as he takes Platt hard into the boards from behind or from the side. Shots on goal, 3 apiece. The Sabres have the lead. Early goal by Gary Galley. So Brindamore up front along with Zubris against Michael Pekka and Ed Ronan.
Hitnick behind the net by Brindamore, now pulls away, but Brindamore chases right after him again. Swung around to Schmelik. Schmelik is denied. Brindamore still on him, and a pass. And all the way to the other side, Zubris picks it up. Zubris got it to Brindamore, trying to get out in front. Brindamore cleared it in front. It's knocked down, and Ronan recovers for Buffalo. Ronan lost it in the corner to Brindamore, and Zhitnik comes back to help out. Zhitnik's turn to give it to Schmelik. Schmelik takes a peek as he circles through center ice, still has the puck, feeds it into Ronan. The long shot, Snow knocking that one away, and it's recovered in the corner by Desjardins. Desjardins to Zubris. Zubris trying to get away at center. Grosek cut him off and knocked him down. Shields will chip it off the board, trying to work it out of there, and does to Ronan. He gets checked. It slides all the way back to Coffey. Coffey tapping it across ice, then regains it again, and here comes Paul Coffey into Buffalo territory. Took the shot, Shields the save, it chipped away. Philadelphia now at full strength. Buffalo shorthanded. Coffey's got it again, fanned on it. Another whack at it, it went wide of the net. Kept in by Philadelphia to Lindros. Lindros to Coffey again, a one-timer, bounces into the corner, fed out in front to Lindros. Lindros keeping it in for the Flyers. The man advantage, chopped down, but Coffey holds it in at the point. Deals it over to Ninema. Ninema scoots it back into the corner. Howard Chuck lets it go to Ninema, and then he flipped it all the way to center ice. Coffey knocking it down. Buffalo hustling to make a change, but Coffey brings it back in. Coffey trying to leave it to Howard Chuck. Banked on the board, flipped but not out. Schmelik didn't see it. Now they whack at it again. There's Lindros keeping it in, stuffs it into Howard Chuck, sending it into the corner. They're getting involved for Buffalo, but it's tapped back into the corner again. Sabres are still shorthanded. Howard Chuck works it in behind the net. Here's Leclerc firing it back to the point. Coffey keeping it in, sends it down low. Buffalo returns to full strength. Leclerc getting twisted around. Bugner took it away, got it off the glass to Ninema. Ninema took a bump, but kept it in there to Lindros. Now it's broken up, and Bugner up to Holzinger. Holzinger into Philadelphia territory. Holzinger took his shot. That one didn't get through. And it's bounced down, and back come the Flyers. 2-on-2. In over the line is Falloon to Leclerc. The shot. Shields makes the save and gulps it into the corner. Rolled around behind the net again. Flyers trying to keep it in. Come on in front. It's knocked down. McKee can't get it out. Kept in by Leclerc, and then he promptly gives it away to May. May off the boards, but not out. Ellie holding it in again. Knocked down in front of the net. Finally scooped free, and Dola will chip this one down the ice, and it'll roll right to Snow. Buffalo completing a change. Geico's dumped it ahead. That's broken up. Tap back for Plant. Plant trying to drop it off at center ice. Can't do it. Falloon coming in over the line. Here's Falloon. Shot right on. Shields the save. The rebound. Not out. Brindamore backhand. Rolled wide of the net. And back in the corner, Falloon leaving it back there. Zubris is taken out, and it's scooted free to May, and now there's another penalty coming up here to Buffalo. Holding the stick will be the charge, and the Sabres will be shorthanded again, leading 1-0 on Empire.
Of all the features that have made Dodge Caravan America's best-selling minivan, nothing has been as user-friendly as our revolutionary second sliding door. And now, you can get this second sliding door at no extra charge. Announcing the National Dodge Sale, it's never been easier to get into and out of America's favorite minivan. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Sometimes life is an uphill battle. Handle it. Dunlop tires, made with pride in Western New York.
Well, it's Alex Jitnik who's in the penalty box. 2 minutes for holding the stick. The Sabres have to kill off their second consecutive power play. And boy, if you're a guy like Rob Ray, Ronan, you want to get in the game, and the Sabres haven't had an opportunity. So either if you're on the power play or penalty killer, you're getting the ice time. If you're not, it's difficult sitting on the bench. The game's almost, or this period's almost halfway through.
Shannon, as Pekka won the draw, Shannon then hit the linesman. He only got it as far as center ice. Pulled back to Coffey. Getting away from Pekka. Leclerc. Leclerc hitting the Buffalo line and over. Trying to stuff it off. Got it into Lindros. He fed it in front. Shields. Well, he's going to hang on to it with Howard Chuck hanging around.
Paul Coffey has had a great series. He rooms with Eric Lindros, and talking to Terry Murray in game 1 of this series, he was saying what an influence Paul Coffey has been on Eric Lindros. He said Coffey talks to him all the time. Of course, the advantage Coffey has had with all the Stanley Cups he has won, playing with the great players like Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier, and he has really helped Eric with his game.
Here's a puck cleared to center, and Pekka just failed to get away. Tipped up to Ward. He couldn't control it. Ninema getting it back. Now giving it in over the line. It's dumped back across ice again. Pekka, or Ward couldn't get it out of there. Shannon's got time, and Shannon flipped it. Didn't get it out. Yes, he did. Leclerc stick to center. Leclerc scooping it up. He gets checked. Ninema back after it. Ninema had to wait for his teammates to get onside, but up to Coffey. The backhand didn't get it away. Shovels it beside the net. Seals. Put it away and fired down the ice. No, way out of the net to give it to Ninema. And that allows Buffalo a chance to make a change. And cleared back through the middle again to Zubras, cutting in on goal. Backhand on the goal line. Right on the line, but they're saying they scored. And the Sabres are arguing about this one, whether it went into the net or not.
Partner, the red light did not go on. The red light did not come on back behind the Buffalo goaltender. And Rob Schick obviously is going to go upstairs in this one. Now, he wasn't sure. He was indecisive. Zubras thought he had scored. He was celebrating. And we're up such a long way, it was difficult for us to make the call from our distance. But there's no excuse for this. I mean, the Sabre defense barely lay a stick on Zubras. And it is difficult to tell whether the puck was across the line. The referee signals it was. And it is a goal, and the Flyers have tied the score.
So a power play goal for each team.
Oh, there it is. It was clearly a goal. And Zubras, who burst through the Buffalo defense of Shannon and Schmelik, ties the score on Steve Shields.
Philadelphia's ninth shot on goal. Buffalo's had 4. Quick center ice now to be gunned in by Dykhouse. Shannon trying to catch up with it. Kordic ran him. It's chopped off the boards. Swoboda keeping it in. There's Kordic in the corner, bumping with McKee. They jam in along the board. Still in there, and Barnaby just flattened Lacroix. Oh, now there's going to be a penalty. Lacroix took a dive, went down, and there's going to be a penalty coming up here to Buffalo.
Well, that was the crowd called that. As soon as the referee, you were watching the same thing as I was, and the referee, Rob Schick, had no idea what happened. He heard the crowd roared. He looked. Lacroix was on the ice with Barnaby standing beside him, and he called the penalty. And so with 9:19 to go here in the opening period, yet another power play. Here's the play. Now Barnaby gets splashed by Lacroix, and Lacroix goes
down before he even hit him.
And again, I know the referees are very touchy in this series, but they've got to start letting these guys play hockey. You can't be calling every darn thing that happens. That's what's been going on, and things that aren't happening are being called. Let the teams play and let them decide the game.
Schmelik tapping around on the boards. Leclerc keeping it in, sending it back to Ninema. Ninema works it back into Howard-Chuck. Philly with a second consecutive power play across to Coffey down low. Flipped it into the corner. Schmelik took it away. And he managed to guide it out through center ice. Schmelik heads off on a change. Here's Lindros with a head of steam up, coming back. It's in over the line, and he cleared it to the line. Not out. Coffey keeping it in. Back for Ninema, the shot. Shields made the save. Up behind the net. Coffey recovers in the corner. Shannon took it away and cleared the zone. 1:20 remaining in the Barnaby penalty. In over the line, though, to Howard-Chuck. Got it in front of the net, and that's cleared away. Ward picks it up and scoops it out to center. Ninema recovering again with Buffalo changing. The pass to Leclerc. Leclerc leaves it to Coffey, trying to dribble it through. Holzinger takes it away to Burridge. Burridge back to Holzinger. He'll send one off into the corner. Snow comes out to play it away for Desjardins. Desjardins up at center. Coffey's got it again, and Shannon took a run at him, and play is called on the offside, and boy, oh boy, did Paul Coffey ever bail out when he saw Shannon coming, and I don't blame him.
Good thing he saw him, let's put it that way, or he'll be down on the ice. Cut into the middle of the ice inside the blue line, and you're asking for trouble. Here comes Coffey cutting to the middle, and Shannon is just watching for him. And down goes Coffey.
That's what you call pulling the chute, folks.
That's all you can do. I mean, you have no choice except to go down in that situation, and Coffey did that.
You're going to go down one way or another.
Yeah, so right. You might go down of your own accord rather than by the opposition.
Your own volition. 52 seconds remaining in the penalty to Barnaby. Dykhouse. It up ahead to Brindamore. Brindamore rolled it in over the line, but the Sabres Zhitnik will gun it off the glass and back down the ice. Bakehouse collecting it. Watched by Burridge and slips it to Brindamore. Brindamore sliding through center. In over the line, Desjardins. Up back in the corner. Shipnick trying to knock it free. Does to Burridge. Burridge flipped it. Got it to the blue line. Knocked down right at the line. And now Holzinger does the job the rest of the way down the ice. Buffalo to make another quick change. And Zubras, the Flyer goaltender, pulling his way to center. He gets taken down by Ronan. Leaves it there to Desjardins. There's another penalty coming up here to Buffalo. Flyers trying to keep it in, and finally Zitnik comes up with it, and now Ronan is going to go.
They said imports taste better. They lied.
And how does that make you feel?
Used, manipulated, betrayed.
And how does that make you feel?
Used, manipulated, betrayed.
So now what?
Only drink fresh beer. Budweiser.
You have made a real breakthrough. You did it on your own.
Born on dating from Budweiser. What fresh beer tastes like.
You're on the road to freshness. Hold all my calls.
How much would you expect to pay for a world-class luxury sedan with a 190 horsepower V6, sunroof, a leather-appointed interior, and an impressive list of standard features? How much would you pay? That's too much. The Infiniti i30, uncompromising luxury and an exceptional value.
Lisa 9:30 now with $399 down at Auto Place Infinity, Main Street, Williamsville.
Have a release that's just been handed me. Dominic Hasek is experiencing residual pain from his original knee injury. He felt a twinge during a breakout drill near the end of this morning's skate. Hasek and team Dr. John Marzo are going to be available for comment following tonight's game. The reason that Hasek is not playing here tonight, and the Buffalo Sabres are again shorthanded with Ronan in the penalty box. Sabres just nicely killed off Barnaby's penalty. In fact, he had just stepped out on the ice when Ronan got tagged. Comes Coffey away. Up it comes to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck chipping it in over the line. After it in the corner. Shipnick cut in front of him. Not out. It's kept in there. Back to Coffey. Swinging it across. Ninema with the shot. That's deflected just wide of the net. The rebound. Lindros coming up with it. Lindros trying to get away. Swings around again. And Ninema, the long shot, is tipped into the corner. Here's Lindros firing it right on. Shields the save. It was chopped away from him into the net, but the whistle had already gone.
And again, Philadelphia getting position in front of Steve Shields around the crease. Got guys the size of Lindros, Leclerc, and Renberg. They are so difficult to move out of the way. And Steve Shields has just been sensational here in the opening period. 13 saves, 13 shots, 12 saves. Sabres have been shorthanded. This is the third consecutive time. There's the opportunity, and John Leclerc bangs away at the loose puck. Sabres are going to have to start trying to knock those guys down. I've always felt that the best way to move somebody in front of the net is not try to cross-check them in the upper part of the body. You stand back and you whack them right over the ankle.
Oh, especially if the goaltender does that with that big paddle he's got. Desjardins keeping it in now on the face-off, sending it back into the corner. Brindamore looking in front. It's tipped back behind the net. Cannon trying to work it out of there. Couldn't do it. Held in by the Flyers. Falloon jams it along the wall. Renberg takes a bump but keeps it in again. Now it's squirted away, and Daw up to Holzinger. Holzinger will just ease it down the ice with a minute remaining in the power play for the Flyers. Desjardins in the corner, hanging on to the puck now to Brindamore. Brindamore whips it ahead. This one goes down the ice. Shannon charging after it because that's icing. Shannon takes a bump from Renberg late. But it was a gentle one.
One thing, when you're killing out penalties for most of the period, guys like Daryl Shannon and Michael Renberg, of course, are the guys who get most of the ice time. Shipnick and Pelly coming back onto the ice, they have logged a huge amount of ice time here in the opening period.
I don't think Rob Ray's had a shift.
No, Rob Ray hasn't been on the ice, and Michael Groshek's been on once. Ronan has played a couple of times, and Brad May a couple of times. That's the problem. Buffalo's a team that likes to roll those four lines, one after the other after the other. They haven't been able to do it here tonight.
Flyers still with the man advantage for another 45 seconds. Coffey tipping it to Ninema. Ninema gaining center, now flips it ahead, and that one is fired right into the crowd.
Of course, the same can be said for the Flyers. They've had Lindros out there for most of this period. He's on the ice again. John LeClaire, Renberg, of course, their power play guys. Coffey is out there again. They've got players who are sitting. Brindamore hasn't played that much. He's one of their scoring star of the playoffs so far with 6 goals. Here's Brindamore. He hasn't been on the ice much here in the opening 20 minutes.
Little roll back into the Philadelphia zone. Down to a half minute left in the penalty. Ninema swings it across. Coffey again. Coffey to the Buffalo line and over. Sends it in. Shot by Howard-Chuck. Handled by Shields. He looked for a friendly face to give it to. Couldn't find one, so held on to it.
Dale Howard-Chuck had a terrific game here in Game 3. And he wasn't even supposed to play this series. A crossbow ended up breaking his wrist, and that gave Howard-Chuck an opportunity to get back in the lineup. Been bothered by a hip problem and a groin problem this season. But he said, he told me before Game 1 that he's felt best he's felt all season. Spent a huge amount of time in rehabilitation with that groin. That he feels fine.
Smellick got tied up on the face-off. Coffey holds it in. Working it to Ninema. Ninema looking for Coffey. Dunned it back over to him. Paul Coffey. The float one in front, and Smellick deflected it over top of the net. Kept in around to Lindros again. Smellick gets involved. Becca tried to pick it free. Couldn't do it. Flyers keeping it in right in front of the net, but it's chipped away and sent back into Philadelphia territory. The Sabres are back at full strength. Coffey back in his own end as Ray is chasing him around, works it up the middle. And now Lindros steals it away from Smellick. Lindros took the shot off the goal post. Barnaby can't get it out. Lindros keeping it in. Sending it over to Terrian. There's his shot. That one misses. Round to Desjardins. He fired one that hit Barnaby. Flat in the corner. Bumped by May. Tipping it up to Barnaby. Barnaby starting away to center ice. May goes with them. Barnaby faked his shot, brings it in over the line. May was way offside, and it wasn't called. So they jam it back in the corner. Ray trying to pry it free and does. Ray sends it back in behind the net again. Arian whipped it off the boards to the blue line. Shannon holding it in. Around to May. May and Lindros collide, but May comes up with the puck. And it's taken away by Desjardins to Quack. Didn't get it out. That hit the referee. Barnaby got taken down by Terrien. No penalty called there. Here's Podine fighting around the check. But it's cleared away, and it's tapped to the blue line. Barnaby running into his man. Ray coming up with the puck now, and now the stick's coming up as Otto gets involved. And Barnaby and Otto are doing the shoving. And then Dykhouse comes over, and we've got everybody involved in the mix now, but mostly talking and a little bit of pushing, and that's about all it comes to. And now there's going to be at least one more penalty called here.
So, you want to see my Discover Card statement? I am very, very prissy.
What up for shut
I love to be pampered. I go have my hair done. I love to go have my nails done, have pedicures, manicures. My biggest weakness would have to be shoes. Cashback bonus award really floats my boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I am definitely a shopaholic.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
In 5 years, Dodge has introduced an entire line of exciting cars and trucks and reinvented an entire brand. The only thing we haven't done is to make these kind of offers all at the same time. Announcing the National Dodge Sale. It's never been easier to get into a new Dodge. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Now the penalty is assessed to Daryl Shannon, the Sabres' 4th consecutive penalty here tonight. And Michael Pekka, along with Dixon Ward up front for Buffalo. Felix, Gifnick.
Well, he just gave Ray a misconduct, too. Rob Schick's decided he's running the game, that's for sure. Philadelphia again with the man advantage. Dykhouse cranking one in. Tipped around on the boards, picked free, but not out. Flyers holding it in. Renberg after the puck. Renberg scoots it along to Dykhouse. High in the air, Schmelik knocked it down, got it up to Pekka. Pekka with Ward. Pekka looking for Ward, busting in on goal. Never got the shot away. Lost control of it as he tried to make a move on Snow. Flyers coming back again. Desjardins cranking one up and firing that one right into the crowd. And Pekka finding Dixon Ward and sending him in all alone.
Well, as Rick mentioned, Dixon Ward ran out of room. He wanted to put a final move on the goaltender and finish off Garth Snow, but he couldn't do it. He lost the puck, and the puck dribbled into the pads or slid into the pads of the goaltender. Watched a quick move he wants to do once more, and the puck flipped up on him, and Snow ended up making the save. And a shorthanded chance for the Sabres goes by the boards.
Still a minute and a half remaining this latest penalty. This one to Shannon. Lindros is back out there again. And wins the draw. Ninema squeezing one to Coffey. Back to Yanni Ninema. Up on the wing it comes to Lindros. Hitting the Buffalo line. Bugner chopping at him in the corner. Bugner runs him. Now it's sent around to Leclerc. Works it back to the point, but ends up going to center. And Ninema flings it across ice to Coffey. Coffey starts away. Up to Howard-Chuck. He'll wheel it across in over the line. Leclerc took his shot. Shields the save. That's knocked down. Bugner flipped it but didn't get it out. Leclerc keeping it in. Here's Galley recovering in the corner. And Galley sends it off the linesman. Couldn't get it down the ice. Finally, Holzinger will send it the rest of the way. Coffey scooping it up and starting right back again. Coffey wheeling one in over the line. Desjardins after it. In there with Ronan. Zhitnik flips it around to Schmelik, but didn't get it out. Lindros keeping it in. Lindros rolling around with the puck and holding it in there. Now he takes his shot, shields the save. It's underneath him. And they finally shovel it back underneath him, and play is called as Steve Shields wasn't sure where it was. And now a mix-up between Howard-Chuck and Zhitnik.
Well, that was the 15th shot on goal by Philadelphia. And Steve Shields again making the save. Puck was underneath his pad momentarily, only he did not know it. What a performance he's putting in here again tonight during this opening period. Buffalo time and time again shorthanded. There's the puck. There it is. The whistle goes. Another face-off coming up in the Sabres zone with 22 seconds to go. Here's the look from behind. And a very alert play that time by Ed Ronan, who came back to help out. Shovel the puck back under the pad, the Buffalo goaltender.
Elliott shooting Buffalo 3-1, 15-5. Plant got tripped. There's a shot right on, and Shields grabs that one. Jumped up onto his feet to clear the zone, but that time the whistle had already gone. Well, Plant's arguing, or at least went back to say something to the referee. And don't blame him. He had the legs scooped out from under him.
Now this again a face-off in the Sabres zone. The reason the discrepancy in the shots on goal, the Sabres have been shorthanded most of this period.
Sure have.
I mean, the play's been in their zone. The Flyers have been peppering the goaltender.
Zhitnik now smacking this one around on the boards. Ward picks it out of the air and gloves it out over the blue line. Back it goes to Coffey. Becca charging over the bench. He wants to change. Billy coming away again with a pass to Brindamore. What behind him? In the corner, Zubras running into Zhitnik. They'll jam on the boards. It's kicked free to Falloon. He got dumped, and now Zhitnik picks it up. Buffalo back at full strength. The pass to Holzinger. Holzinger then ran into Shannon, and the Flyers start back up to Falloon. Falloon in over the line. He drops it through, and Zubras whipped it wide. Burridge charging after it, bumping with Brindamore. Bugner sails it around on the other side. Boda kept it in momentarily. Now Galley will slow things down. Down to Bugner. Bugner tipping it out at center ice. Svoboda recovering. Feeding it to Otto. He got hammered down by Bugner. Long shot is Tapped around behind the net. Shields works it around in the glass to Burridge. Burridge managed to squeeze it out to center. Sabres are still changing up here and almost stolen by Audette, but it comes ahead to Otto, to Cody in. And that one goes way up into the Core State center.
Now, so the Sabres do a terrific job of penalty killing with 1:11 to go. For the time, a long time, we'll be at 5 aside.
I don't believe that's on for how long?
Probably a matter of seconds, but Steve Shields holding Buffalo in this period again. The Sabres took the early 1-0 lead on a power play goal by Gary Galley. Flyers tied it as Zubris skated in alone on Shields and beat him. I understand that Donald Audette is credited for Buffalo's tipped the shot. Gary Galley from the left point.
Trying to work it out, and he does. A minute remaining now here in the opening period in Philadelphia. Puck is stolen away by Clint, sliding back in over the line. Left it there, Barnaby. Rebound, May hit the side of the net. And around on the boards again. Scoop, but Shannon keeps it in. He tries to poke it in front. That's gloved out to center ice. Back after it, McKee. Shannon and Otto took a poke at each other. Sent back to McKee again. McKee working it across to Shannon. Shannon steps away from one, trying to gain center. He does by flipping it in. It's going to go wide of the net, and they're going to say that Shannon did not gain the red line, so it's icing. With exactly 30 seconds remaining in the period.
Chris Therien surprised a lot of people in Buffalo, and including himself, by scoring a terrific goal. First of the playoffs this season on a wraparound. The big guy is noted mostly for his defensive work. By that statistic, +7, pretty impressive, tied for the NHL lead, ±. Pekka back in the lineup tonight makes such a difference on this line with Dixon Ward and Jason Dawn. It gives Ted Nolan an opportunity to try to match him up whenever possible against Lindros.
Shot by Desjardins, doesn't get through. Leclerc squeezed out behind the net. Kipnick has lost his stick. He knocks down Leclerc. It pops free in the corner to Lindros. Lindros trying to work it out in front. Lindros still has it behind the net, tried to shovel it in front. Pekka after the puck now. It's kept in by the Flyers again. Put back to the point, the long shot, tipped away, came right beside the net, off the boards, sent away to center. Daw just drilling one in. That's right on as the opening period comes to a close in Philadelphia.
Well, the special teams in full force here tonight at the Core State Center, and Buffalo doing an excellent job of penalty killing, and Donald Audette providing the scoring for the Sabres. But I guess you look at it this way, the Sabres can only hope that perhaps the referee will start evening it up in the penalty department.
Or in the shots on goal department, 16-6. The Flyers outshoot Buffalo in the first 20 minutes, but the Sabres get on the board first on the power play, only to have Philadelphia come back and tie it up the same way. It's all even at 1 on Empire.
When your Ford dealer's got Western New York's best-selling minivan, Ford Windstar, what more could you want?
Actually, I want a great price.
Hey, they've got that covered. Now you can get a 98 Windstar for $279 a month with a red carpet lease. So what else could you want?
Well, what if, I want to buy one?
You want to buy one?
Oh, yeah, I could.
I guess you could. Okay, $1,500 cash back when you buy a 98 Windstar. So anything else we can do for you?
How about more time?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
What do you want them to drive it for you, too?
Would they do that?
Why don't you go over to your local Ford dealer today? Would you do that?
If your bank is going through a lot of changes lately, now's the time to change to M&T. We're offering great rates, like our 13-month CD at 6% and a 30-month CD at 6.5%. A free $50 U.S. savings bond when you open your CD, and more ways to make banking more convenient for you. So make a change for the better and change to M&T, all the bank you'll ever need.
If you're having debt problems, we can help. We're Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Buffalo.
Your credit counseling program's the best thing that ever happened to us. You taught us how to budget. And next month, We're buying our first home.
Our counseling is free and confidential. We're here to help. Call 854-1710.
In the world of tools, there's only one true craftsman. Craftsman makes anything possible.
Yeah. They're really your employees, but they feel a lot like your family. You're fond of many of them and accustomed to the rest of them. And for almost 60 years, GHI has been helping employers like you give their employees the kind of health care they want. Employees get direct access to doctors and hospitals throughout New York State, and you get a reasonable price tag for it all. GHI. We put the care back in healthcare.
Welcome back to our first intermission here of Game 4 from the Core State Center, where the Sabres and Flyers are tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play. Well, in that first period, the Sabres started off the scoring with Donald Audette getting his 4th of the playoffs. Back came the Flyers with a lot of shots. They outshot the Sabres 16-6, tied this game at 1. Let's check out some stats from the first period here at the Core State Center. Right now, we have some stats to show your way from the Core State Center. Shots on goal 16-6, as I said. Hits, Flyers get the edge there, 8-6. Face-offs 15-11 in favor of the Flyers. Scoring chances 13-4. When we come back, we'll have an NHL playoff update. Take a look at how Rochester's doing in the Calder Cup playoffs. You're watching Sabres Hockey, Empire Sports Network. The score after 1, tied at 1.
When you let your clothes do all the talking,
Some for Bob's delivery?
No way.
you could end up delivering all the wrong messages. Call Sim's House.
How are we today?
Fine, thank you.
Our uniforms make sure your business is always well received.
Let's see how much you know about gasoline. Ready? In 1921, who opened the world's first drive-in service station? Your dad used it. His dad used it. Today, go. Advent 21 formula keeps fuel injectors clean and helps my car run better than ever before. Whether it's full service or self-serve. For the life of your car, you know the name. Go, go.
Hey, Rochester, Randy Ruhlman is the 42nd winner of $1,000 a week for life. Any suggestions?
There's a lot of places to go. They should go down to Shalat Beach.
Go to some Red Wing games and soccer games.
They go down to High Falls.
Well, I hope this summer we can go someplace warm. Or let's go to Hawaii, you and I both.
That's it, baby. Win for life. You keep calypsoing, we keep paying.
The Buffalo Sabres battle it out on Empire Sports Network, and Hockey Hotline follows it all. Join hosts Brian Blessing and Mike Robitaille as they bring you all the scores, highlights, and questions from the fans live on Hockey Hotline tonight.
8 hours of jingle belling and ho-ho-hoing. Boy, I am hoed out.
Wow, this is something. I haven't seen you guys in, what, 20 years?
Well, you really went bald there, didn't you?
Fine. You want to be a communist? Be a communist. Can't you at least look like a successful communist? All right. Hey, this guy's a commie! Hey, kick it away!
Sunday at 10 on Fox 29.
Hi, I'm Howard Simon, co-host of Fan TV. When the Sabres goaltending situation blew up on Friday, Fan TV gave you extensive coverage from Philadelphia.
He's 100% enough to play. Yes, he is.
We're going on the premise that Dominic Hasek's going to be our starting goaltender tonight, unless he can't.
You're asking the wrong guy. You'd have to ask Ted Nolan. But as far as I'm concerned, what Ted's told me, he's playing.
Weeknights at 4:30. Fan TV, your voice, your choice.
Welcome back to our first intermission here at the Core State Center. Sabres and Flyers tied at 1. Don Lever joins us now live in our first intermission. Don, I guess it's tough to take a look at that first period and assess the way your team played because they were shorthanded half the period.
Well, I said it's there. It's we took some lazy penalties and we took some that we deserved. And you can't do that. We talked about it, but we got out of the period. Stevie kept us in. I feel sorry for Stevie. I'm sure he's probably the one that gave most of the guys heck there. We can't play like that and expect to survive this game.
Even strength, though, early on, the team looked strong.
Well, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to get that lead, and then we let off. And obviously, Schick is sending a message. Let's still hope that we get our forwards skating this period, and he'll call some penalties on them.
Although Shields wasn't sure he was the starter going in, it looked like he knew all along. I mean, he was right in the game the whole way.
Yeah, he was very sharp. He's done a very good job for us. I just hope the guys rally around him.
All right, thanks very much. Don Lever, our guest here in the first intermission. When we come back, Rick Jeanneret and Jim Lorenz will take a look back at this first period. The score from the Core State Center after one period, Flyers and Sabres tied at 1 on Empire.
Comparing a Sierra to anything else in the corral is like comparing a champion thoroughbred to a petting zoo pony. Because right now, you get the room, the comfort, and 230 of the most powerful horses out there. All at a price that's beyond compare. Lease a Sierra for just $299 a month for 36 months or get 7.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 60 months. See your Empire State GMC dealer today.
At PC Assistance, we're proud that the Buffalo Sabres call us their preferred computer consultants. We're also very proud to be considered the preferred computer consultants for many companies in Western New York. PC Assistance offers a full range of professional services that are designed to assist you in maximizing the use of your computer systems. PC Assistance can easily become the preferred computer consultants for your company, too.
You've got one of these. It came with one of these. But every time you try to use it, you get one of these. Well, call Online Media and get connected to the Internet today. Enjoy email, news groups, and the World Wide Web as it was meant to be, with Online Media's low, flat monthly rate. Sign up now and receive a free copy of Microsoft's Internet Explorer. So call Online Media today, your complete connection to the Internet. We'll give you the World Wide Web instead of the World Wide Wait.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! What a play, Ozzie Smith. Watch and enjoy. Nothing to it.
Hi, I'm Ozzie Smith, the new host of This Week in Baseball.
Join Ozzie each week for an insider's look at our national pastime, plus all the great plays and bloopers you love. Also new this season, special reports from the one, the only, Tommy Lasorda.
So join me, Ozzie Smith, as we get started on the next 20 years of This Week in Baseball.
One period at the Core State Center, nothing has been decided. In fact, these two teams are all even the way they started the game. Not exactly the way they started the game. They each have one goal, but they are tied as they started the game, and the Sabres finally scored on the power play.
And it was a pretty good power play too. Sabres got some movement going inside the Philadelphia zone, and Gary Galley got himself loose back at the point. But if we can just stop it for a second, what the Sabres are doing is they're going to cycle the puck this area, and they keep moving it around. These three players keep moving. The Flyers cannot defend it until they cycle it back in. Buffalo continues. They're going to cycle it back in the corner again. Donald Adet, we can stop it right here. Now look at the Flyer players all on this side of the ice. Here's Gary Galley. That's the guy who's going to get the puck. Donald Adet makes a terrific pass in front, and Philadelphia just never recovers. Adet cruises by the goal crease and tips the puck into the net. The Buffalo Sabres had taken a 1-0 lead on a rare power play goal. There's the tip by Donald Adet, no question about that. Gary Galley initially got credit for it, but clearly the puck was deflected by Donald Adet. Here's a Philadelphia goal. Very poor play by Bob Bugner and Richard Schmelik, as Zubris has great speed going between them, and he actually fanned on the shot as he went to shoot it in, but it was enough to go across the goal line. Philadelphia, with a power play goal, had tied it.
And on our Discover card scoring summary, Audette, that's his fourth, despite the fact that he sat out the last game with a shoulder injury, and Sabres picking up his second of these playoffs. Both coming on the power play as we get ready for the second period of action. We and about 20,000 others here at the Core States Center in Philly.
The Buffalo Sabres battle it out on Empire Sports Network, and Hockey Hotline follows it all. Join hosts Brian Blessing and Mike Robitaille as they bring you all the scores, highlights, and questions from the fans live on Hockey Hotline tonight.
Right now at West Her Ford, you can lease a 98 Windstar, fully loaded with dual airbags, air conditioning, AM/FM cassette, and more. All for just $269 a month for 24 months. And with every purchase, you'll also get West Her's dedicated staff, who guarantee your West Her experience will be a pleasant one. The 98 Ford Windstar, proudly brought to you by the friendly folks at West Her Ford, where we stand by every vehicle we sell. West Her Ford, Camp Road, corner of Southwestern in Hamburg.
It's the perfect landing. It's a special holiday. It's friendly blue waiting there for you. It's traveling your way.
For a limited time, you can rent a brand new mid-size Dodge Stratus and pay compact rate at any of 5 Buffalo area thrifty locations.
Oh, it's thrifty. Renting cars with Clyde worldwide.
All right, folks, it's time to play Jeopardy! And our categories today are as follows: Jocks and Jocks, Crazy Fans,
Boy, I'll tell you, these people are going crazy.
Cool Cups, finally, Famous Stanleys.
There's nothing like it, folks.
Ooh, please phrase your response in the form of a question. No, sorry, I'm afraid the correct response is, what is Cup Crazy? Cup Crazy.
Ice cold beer here. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store is your place for hot deals on ice cold beer every day, all the time. Cold beer, great prices, awesome selection carried out to your car. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store. If you're looking for ice cold beer, come to Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store, your place for cold beer. And right now at Consumers, get Molson bottles for only $10.49 after mail-in rebate. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store.
Catch all your favorite sports talk as hosts Bob Kaczynski and Art Wander bring you Fan Forum, live Mondays at 5:30 on Empire Sports Network.
Sabres Playoff Hockey is brought to you in part by your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. Cars you can trust from people you can depend on. And by Tops Friendly Markets. Tops never stops saving you more. Well, just below those banners, the teams have returned to the ice here at the Core State Center for period number 2. Period that'll see both teams at full strength, with the exception of Rob Ray, who's about halfway through his misconduct penalty.
Well, we suspected that Eric Lindros had a ton of ice time in the opening 20 minutes. How about 10 minutes and 23 seconds?
That's it. That's a ton. That's better than 50%.
I'll say. And of course, one of the reasons for that, the power play chances that Philadelphia had, shorthanded, 4 consecutive times. There's Rob Ray in the box, as Rick mentioned, working on his misconduct. Sabres need to, Don Lever told Dennis Williams, become more disciplined and stop taking lazy penalties. Sabres are at the best when they keep rolling the 4 lines at the Flyers and get some momentum going.
Lindros kicking it free. Zhitnik stepped into him. Now Schmelik back after it. Let's Pekka go by. Renberg watching Schmelik. Schmelik sends it at center, off May's stick and all the way down the ice. May not going to be able to get there in time, so that's going to end up being an icing against Buffalo.
Brad May playing on the line here with Michael Pekka and Jason Daw. to add that physical presence to this line against the Lindros line. Noticed on that last breakout play, the Flyers had set up the trap in the neutral zone. Gary Murray, as I mentioned, does not like when Brad May plays against Lindros and he makes a change as he sends out the Brindamore line. There hasn't been a lot of line matchups in this series. Of course, Michael Pekka's in there. That does make a difference, however, and the Sabres do try to get that Pekka against Lindros.
Zhitnik controlling the play. To Schmelik. Schmelik eases it back to Alexei Zhitnik again. He'll flip it ahead. It's kicked into the corner. Work back to center ice, and isn't that offside? Guess not. Schmelik coming up with it. Leaving it to Zhitnik. Zhitnik dribbling it up on the wing. It's hooked out as far as center ice. They all jam at it again, but the Flyers get it back. Balloon. He'll flip one in. Back into the corner. Zhitnik trying to catch up with it. Does. Bothered from behind. Howard Chuck keeping it in. Took his shot. Scored! Howard Chuck, after the Flyers steal the puck in the corner, and Philadelphia has its first lead in the game.
Now the defensive zone turnover, that's one of the points that I was harping on in the opening period. The Sabres are guilty again, and it ends up in their net. You just cannot consistently turn the puck over in your own zone against a talented finishing team like Philadelphia and get away with it. There's the turnover, and Howard Chuck, this is some shot, as he lofts it over the shoulder of Shields. 2-1 Philadelphia with 18:57 to go here in the second period.
So Buffalo got on the board first, but the Flyers have scored the last two. Here's Swoboda going after the puck. Swoboda squeezing it up the middle. It's broken up right at the blue line and tapped back through the middle. Shannon catching up with it. Kornick watching him. Shannon takes it around in the boards, but they're going to bring this one back on the icing.
Daryl Shannon was telling me, Philadelphia, they like to force you to go up the boards. And he said, at every opportunity, we have to try to stay away from that. They were trying to go up the boards. That last play, saw what happened. Howard Chuck ended up with a puck, and it ended up in the Buffalo net. But, of course, to be able to make the plays in the zone, if you're a defenseman, your forwards have to get back and get into position and then move to the open areas for you to get them the puck. I don't think the Sabres have done that very well either in this series.
Lindros tapping it back to Ninema, bothered by May, and left it for Lindros again. To get rid of it to center. McKee knocking it down, scooping it up ahead. Tip to Plant. Plant drills it in over the line to May. Took a shot. That sails off into the corner. Ninema flipped it around on the glass to the blue line. Shannon holding it in. Out it in along the wall to Plant, trying to kick it free. May helps out. May shoving away with Lindros. Plant holding it in there. Flipped at it again. Jam it back to the point. Shannon's long backhand. Shields will grab that one and leave it behind the net to Ninema. We'll send it around on the board. Podine's pass at center to Klatt. One in and going after it. Shannon watching him. Bump behind the net. Down goes Klatt. Shannon comes up with the puck. Shannon flips it ahead to May. May starting out with Barnaby. May is checked by Leclerc from behind. McKee broke it up at center ice. Up to Barnaby. Barnaby in over the line. Tried to squeeze one in. That went wide of the net. May goes firing in there. Desjardins takes it away. Buffalo is changing as Desjardins leads the rush back again by sending it in. Shields behind the goal. Hangs it around on the boards, and it's knocked down at the line by Desjardins for Leclerc. He tips it back into Renberg. Tried to feed it in front. Went off Galley's skate to center ice. Desjardins flipped it away. Burridge failed to get away, and Galley comes up with it again. For Audette, he'll swing one in over the line. Desjardins knocking it down. Backhands it high, off the glass, out to center ice. Bugner gets trapped. In over the line now. The Flyers coming back with Brindamore. He cleared it across. Leclerc a shot. Bugner got a piece of that one. Sent around to the boards, and Burridge starts out. Burridge dropping it off to Holzinger. He gets checked. Here's Balloon at center ice. He's turned around, and it's cleared back through the middle to Holzinger. Holzinger to Audette. Took his shot. That one wide. All the way around to the board. Philly starting back. Falloon to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck leaving it to Falloon again. The backhand. Shields got a piece of that. Chopped around on the boards, but not out. Now it's broken up, and off Burridge escaped, but not out, and Howard Chuck fired another one wide of the net. Sabres will recover now as Derek Plant comes down the wing and sends one into the corner. Pecos with around on the boards. Plant can't keep it in, and it bounces up in the air and goes to Lindros, scooping it back through center ice. Howard Chuck then gives it away to Grosek. Grosek rolling around behind his net. He takes a look. And away from Leclerc, comes to center ice. Now he'll ease one in. Snow slowing it down for Dykhouse. Worked around on the boards and cleared up to Lindros again. Lindros gave it away. Grosek knocks it back in the other direction. Ronan bumping with Dykhouse. Dykhouse scooped it by Ronan back inside the Buffalo line. Galley has to hustle back there. Galley it around behind the net. Shannon got it up to Daw. Daw tried to flip one through the middle. Lindros broke it up and kept it in there. It finally poked free and rolls, but not out. Now it'll come out over the line to center ice. Covering up, Desjardins gave it away to Daw. Daw back to Pekka with a shot right on the rebound. Snow makes the save. Under round to the boards. Galley tried to hold it in, but it fed up to center ice. Taken back by Shannon. Shannon then took a rough ride from Platt, brought in over the line and called on the upside. Almost 5 minutes into the second period. Philadelphia, they only go to the period and the lead on Empire.
Now is the time. This is the play. Make it a Chevy.
Now you can make it a Chevy with $750 cash back or 3.9% financing on the worry-free Chevy Lumina. Spring shipments are arriving daily. Get great standard features and save big with 3.9 financing or $750 cash back. Chevy Lumina, now from just $17,085. It's the best time ever to
make it a Chevy.
Make it now to your local Chevy dealers.
While panning for gold one day, Will found a strange, sweet-smelling root. He took it back to camp, put it in a pot, and added some secret ingredients. You know, I reckon Will never did find gold, but after he tasted the sweet, creamy liquid, he knew he'd found something far more valuable. Well, folks, that's the legend, and this is the root beer.
Philadelphia has only one shot on goal in this period. To Buffalo's dismay, it went in.
Of course, that puck was shot by Dale Howardchuk. Second goal of the series. Sabres need to test Gar Snow. 6 shots on him in the opening period. And a couple here in the second period. But Buffalo needs to get the puck deep in the Flyer zone and work the Philadelphia defense. The Sabres continue to be stubborn against that trap, and they're not shooting the puck in deep.
Minima steered it off the boards. Pekka trying to keep it in, but it's broken up and swept out to center. He took it away and fires it right back in again. It'll be left for Ninema. Ninema by Daw, slips it off the boards again, chopped out as far as center ice and catching up with it Falloon. As Brindamore got taken down, there's a shot. Shields makes the save on Falloon. Sent back to Ninema. He cleared it in front. Great save by Shields on Brindamore. Brindamore's got it again in the corner. And a curl around. He dropped it back. Daw picks it off. Daw to Ward, coming by himself. In over the Flyer line, looking for a trailer. Tried to clear it in front. It's broken up. Sent back to center again. Here comes Leclerc. Leclerc cutting in, and he shot it wide of the net as Shipnick got in front of him. Looked out to center ice. Buffalo almost got away there. Carrying on now, Pekka. Pekka running into his check. Ninema, they both go down. Jammed in over the line. That's Dykhouse, not Ninema. Ward keeping it in. Ward couldn't get his shot away. Left it to Schmelik. He got checked, and it ends up at center ice. And Ward is manhandled all over the place by Lindros, who's going to get a penalty here. Barnaby charges in there to try to dig it off the back of the net, but the play has already been called as Lindros, hapless, will go to the penalty box.
And he mugged Dixon Ward in the neutral zone. The second penalty of the hockey game, and with 13:53 to go here in the second, Sabres are on the power play. There it is at the top of the screen as Dixon Ward taken down to the ice by Lindros. Sabres on the power play. Buffalo scored the opening goal of tonight's game with the man advantage, and Donald Audette tipped in the shot by Gary Galley. It's Plant, Burridge, Audette up front, Galley, Holzinger on the points.
Let's roll back into the Buffalo end. Holzinger catching up with it. Otto's on him for Galley. Galley's pass at center. Audette. It's in over the line, giving it to Plant, working down low. Plant scooped it behind the net. Too far for Audette. Galley trying to pinch in, and does. Burridge holding it in. Out tip free. Audette keeping it in there. Audette holding it at the point. Pushes it into Galley. He lets it go to Burridge. Burridge swinging around, keeping it in for Buffalo. Then he lost control. And Otto sends it the rest of the way down the ice. Holzinger fires it up to Burridge. He'll chip it, but he hit the referee in the back of the leg. Go any farther than center. Top three right to Audette. Audette with a back pass to Plant. In over the line. Didn't get his shot on. He was hooked from behind. Chip free on the boards. Kept in by Buffalo. That's knocked down. And finally it's called. And I don't know why, unless the referee has even injured.
It looks like Rob Schick is in some difficulty. Hobbling around inside the line. 1:04 to go in the Buffalo man advantage. Sometimes on a power play, more than sometimes, you have to work even harder than you work at even strength. Because you know that the defensive club is going to work hard in their zone to get the puck across the line. Sometimes on a power play, players just do not work hard enough. Try to get possession of the puck, particularly if you lose it.
Dick is trying to shake this off now. Don Van Massenhoven is the alternate official in this game. If one of these officials is unable to complete duties for the evening. Seven minutes into the second period.
I think Rob Schick just went back and told the goaltender, hey, make like there's something wrong with your equipment. Immediately headed back into the net and began to fix his pad.
No, he looks over at Schick and said, okay now?
He said, okay. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
So now goaltender and referee are on the same page, and they'll get ready to drop the puck.
Schick is still hobbling around. He's favoring his left knee, and now signals drop the puck.
Minutes to go in the power play. And it's Ariane who finds an opening and delivers it down the ice. Jitnik on the point along with Schmelik. The pass up the middle to Dawn. Dawn winding up, sailing one off into the corner. It's Ariane who recovers and swings it around on the boards to Klatt. Tried to get it out. Jitnik charges after it, but it's poked free and ends up at center ice on Pekka's stick. Pekka. The pass through the middle. That was knocked down by Klatt again, and Klatt just guns it around behind the Buffalo net. Left for Zhitnik. Zhitnik starts back now for Buffalo. Here's Zhitnik hitting the flyer line and over. He leaves it back there. It's sailed across to Pekka. Pekka keeping it in. Schmelik with a shot right on Snow, and difficulty controlling it, but managed to knock it down. Go back into the corner again, and Podine and Dawn had something going, and now the Flyers send it down the ice. Shields will play it back there away from Podine. And now Philly back at full strength. The pass comes to center to May. May tipped it ahead. Ninema dealing it across to Coffey. Coffey to the Buffalo line. Works it down low. Here's Coffey taking a shot. That's blocked. And back at the blue line. May was flattened by Lindros out of the play. Back at center ice. Here's Plant in over the line. Took his shot. No, grabs that one, and then May got a little piece of him as he went sailing by. 11.5 to go here in the second.
Cozy, huh? Whoa, bedroom? No way. Security? How's the transportation? Classic fixtures. Ooh, what do we have here? Bud Light. Go ahead. Got your name on it. I'll get my own. Nice. Ah, a Take it.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That was close. I was down to my last one.
Beauty pools are simply the best built pool. And now they're even more affordable. Beauty Pools offers a lifetime guaranteed gunite in-ground pool with concrete steps, frost-proof ceramic tile with a Marsite finish that never needs painting, pump, filter, and all electrical work for your pool. 3 feet of concrete around the entire pool and a lifetime guarantee with no hidden costs. The only thing you had is a lifetime of fun. You owe it to yourself to call Beauty Pools today at 674-3500.
When they get all set to drop the puck, they'll be doing it down in the Philadelphia corner of the building. Blair heading back over to the Flyer bench. Plant moves in on the draw against Brindamore. Nice right to Coffey. Banging it around the boards. Ninema and May had a little thing going, but it's sent to center ice. Howardchuk tipping it in, and now the Flyers making changes. Back is McKee. He stops, works it across to May. May coming to center, drills it down the ice. This is going to roll behind the net, and this is coming back icing.
Now, Terry Murray does not want his offensive players playing against Plant, May, and Barnaby. He started with the Lindros line. As soon as he saw that lineup for Buffalo on the ice, he took them off. He put the Brindamore line on because the faceoff is in the Flyer zone, and the Brindamore line is much better at moving the puck out of their zone than, of course, Dan Lacroix, along with Kordic and Klatt, or Zubris, I beg your pardon. And they remain on the ice for this faceoff to the left of Shields.
No, they don't.
Now they're going to pull him again because the Sabres take May and Barnaby off the ice.
But they put Ray out there.
May and Ray do stay on the ice. And Holzinger goes to center.
Flyers have Brindamore out along with Falloon and Howardchuk. Sweeps over to Ray. Ray will gain center and whip one in. Snow trapping it back behind the net. Ray goes firing in there. Snow get it out. Ronan keeping it in, but then he loses it, and now it's sent right through the middle and down the ice. And McKee is going to catch up with it, and this will be a racing charge against the Flyers.
Jay McKee in the lineup tonight for the first time in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and handling himself as he usually does with poise. I beg your pardon, he did play against the Ottawa Hockey Club in the first game of this series. Placed Mike Wilson here tonight. 19 years old. What you admire about McKee, handles himself on the ice. He doesn't panic with the puck. Doesn't always make a good play with it, but he always tries to. Big difference from a defenseman who just gets the puck and fires it away. At least McKee tries to do something and create.
Going around on the boards, Falloon knocks it free, and away goes Coffey. Coffey in over the Buffalo line to Brindamore. Brindamore putting on the brake, sends it back in front of the net. Falloon leaves it to Coffey, trying to clear it into Brindamore. The shot right on, Shields the save, and it's picked up and slapped down the ice by McKee as felt the pressure was on, and he just dumped it away, and Buffalo will make a change.
Now Philadelphia with another good scoring chance on Steve Shields. Eric Desjardins, the more underrated and unappreciated defenseman in the entire NHL, to his 9th season, but he is without question the best defensive defenseman on Philadelphia. And experience, of course, winning the Stanley Cup with Montreal in the early 90s, but he also chips in offensively. Plays power plays, has a great shot from the point.
Back to Therrien. He'll let one rip, and that one goes off a stick, and boy, did that ever get up in the crowd in a hurry, and they were bobbing and weaving up there.
Well, that quick whistle gives Ted Nolan a chance to get Pekka against Eric Lindros, and we'll see now if Terry Murray attempts to try to move that Lindros line away from him. He hasn't tried that. Of course, if you start doing that, then you cut down on the ice time of your best offensive players. Now, this time he's going to make the change, and Otto comes over the board. Now, I think Philadelphia, they were a little disappointed that Joel Otto did not get, or was not a candidate for the Selke Trophy. Michael Pekka is, of course. Forsberg is one of the candidates, and I can't recall the other one right now, but Michael Pekka should have a very good chance of winning that honor.
Gary Letton in Dallas, third player. Pekka will give it now to Schmelik. He's watched by Otto. Flipped up on the wing to Daw. Back to Schmelik again. Now he's got room to move. Schmelik in the game center ice. Flips it in. And around behind the net. Buffalo hustling to make a change. Ninema pulls away in the corner. Ninema rolled it off the boards and got it out to center. Otto carrying on. Long shot. Shields taps that one away and gives it to Zhitnik. Zhitnik waiting behind the net. Ward goes all the way to the Buffalo bench. Zhitnik gave him time. Zhitnik's got it again. Fires it ahead. Holzinger charging into the corner after it. He comes it around behind the net. Trying to get it to Burridge. Burridge gets squeezed out, but Zhitnik keeps it in. Back into Holzinger. Tried to feed it out in front to Burridge. Went around to Swoboda. Burridge after Swoboda again. Dick got it in front, and that shot is knocked down before Holzinger could really get it away. Back comes Platt. Platt will leave it there to Podine and over the line. He got turned around, trying to hold it in, and does. Fired it, comes back to the point. Renberg chases after it in the corner. Pupner labels him. Here's Lindros, giving it to Renberg again. Renberg flips it back. It's intercepted and tapped out to center. Terrian coming up with it. Buffalo's changing. Terrian sending in Renberg the shot, and back quickly was Bubner to get in front of it. Renberg's got it again in the corner. Tried to leave it there, and Galley comes up with it. Galley banks it off the boards and sends it through center. This is going to make all the way down the ice, and Terrian will get there and cause another icing call. Philadelphia, the only goal here in the second period, and the lead on Empire.
Now is the time. This is the place. Make it a Chevy.
Now you can make it a Chevy for just $289 a month or $1,000 cash back on the dependable Chevy Blazer. Spring shipments are arriving daily. Lease your Blazer with anti-lock brakes, V6 4-wheel drive, and the exclusive driver control system for just $289 a month. Or choose $1,000 cash back when you buy. It's the best time ever to
make it a Chevy.
Make it now to your local Chevy dealers.
I had to go out of town, so my best friend said Max could stay with them. Max and Charlie got along great, except that Max kept eating Charlie's food, Purina One brand. So I checked. There's no better nutrition, and Purina One lamb and rice formula has real lamb as the #1 ingredient. That designer dog food I'd been feeding Max has corn as the #1 ingredient. Oh, Max eats Purina One now, and we both couldn't be happier.
Philadelphia with the lead here in the second with 8:38 remaining. Talking about Michael Pekka, of course, being a candidate or nominee for the Selke Trophy. Here are the other ones: Peter Forsberg, Gary Lettinen of Dallas, and the Jack Adams Trophy. The head coach Hitchcock, Jacques Martin, and Ted Nolan, candidates for that trophy and that honor.
Mention that the Broadcasters Association elects the winner for the Jack Adams, and that is the only trophy the broadcasters are involved in. The rest are by the Writers Association. A long shot, and that one just deflected wide. Back in the corner, Ward to McKee, shoveled it to the other side, but Balloon got there first. Bring it to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck circles. Puts it back into the corner, and that's stolen away by Pekka. Pekka ripping a pass across ice to Ward, a little too far. Dyko scooped it to center to Brindamore. Brindamore starting back as Buffalo made a change. They're back into the corner. Balloon let it come all the way to Coffey. Coffey tried to clear it in front, intercepted. McKee starting out, and he fanned on his pass. Now carrying on is Ward, but Barnaby is trapped inside the line. He flips it back in again. Dyko's coming up with it. Dyko's hit by Barnaby. Up going all the way to center. Bubner chasing after the puck now. Get across to Galley. Galley tries to pass through the middle. Barnaby catch up with it. Lacroix took it away, and then Lacroix just turned around and fired it down the ice. I'm not so sure what he was thinking about. And as we continue on in our themes now with the NHL finalists for the Hart Trophy and for the Vezina Trophy, and Dominic Hasek front and center once again.
Got some great players. Hasek, Correa, Lemieux, finalists, and Roger, Hasek, and Patrick Waugh. The Vezina Trophy. And if you've joined us late, Dominic Hasek did try to play tonight. He tried it in the warm-ups and declared himself not ready to play. So we were watching him this morning and taking shots, and Dominic usually goes down into the butterfly position often. He did not go down. Did it once towards the end of the workout and had very much difficulty getting back up. And tried it, as we mentioned, in the pregame skate, taking some shots tonight in the warm-up, but left after about 5 minutes. And Steve Shields took over, and it played brilliantly tonight again.
Now on the draw, Galley moves up to hold it in there, but he got hammered by Zubras. Ham it back in the corner again. Barnaby trying to pick it free to get it back to Plant. Barnaby still fighting for the puck, taking a rough ride on the wall. Pilato. The Sabres holding it in with May. Now it's squeezed out and sent back into the Buffalo end. Plant is back there. Plant flipping it ahead to May. Tried to get away at center ice to Barnaby. Does. Barnaby dropped it off. Galley with the puck, but it's tapped over the line on a delayed offside. Flyers picking it back to Ninema. Ninema swinging it ahead. That went all the way to center. May chops at it. Plant flips it up now in over the line. Audette checked from behind before he got his shot away. Got his pocket picked by Ninema. Puck comes to center ice, and May and Ninema got involved. Now in over the line. Zubras hooks it around behind the goal. Shields will feed it all the way around, and it's cleared out to center. Holzinger couldn't catch up with it in time. Taken by Desjardins, who spun out and went down. Therrien starting through the middle. Lindros in over the line, leaving it to Leclerc, and it went behind him. Proshik got it off the boards, but too far for Holzinger. Therrien flipped it back to the blue line again, and it's chopped back in and called on the offside.
I was mentioning that Dominic Hasek did participate in shots this morning, and watch him, he just doesn't go down. And normally he does. He'll go down in the butterfly position on a lot of these shots. He is obviously bothering him, but he tried to play tonight and could not. Ted Nolan, of course, had to go back with Steve Shields. Shields has just had a terrific playoff. Continues here his great play tonight with 22 shots on goal and 20 saves.
And Andrei Trepilov had to find a phone booth to change in because he actually made it out toward the end of the pregame skate. So he did get a few shots, did Trepilov. Pitnick sailing one off into the corner. Coffey comes up with it and it's high in the air. It ends up at center ice on Shannon's stick. Shannon didn't wait long enough, though, and it's again a delayed offside as it's worked across ice. Flipped over, Dykhouse ahead to Klatt, off his stick to center ice. Shannon feeds it back in. Daw trying to bust in, and he's squeezed off the play by Dykhouse. Coffey starts back. Here's Coffey to the Buffalo line and over. Coffey gets checked, and it's tapped out to center by Shannon. Coffey back after it again. For skating room, just dumped it off the boards. Banked back by McKee in the other direction. Ends up rolling to Ninema, and he got rid of it. Fed across ice. Buffalo trying to make a change here, and it's sent back through the middle to Lindros. Lindros took his shot. That's blocked by McKee. Kept in by Philly again. Poke free to center ice, and the Flyers were making a change, but Coffey sensed that and hustled back to get there ahead of Plant, or Plant would have had a breakaway. McKee bothered by Lindros. Shannon left it, came to Lindros, in front of the net. Zubras is good! And the Philadelphia Flyers have got their second goal in this second period and enjoy a 2-goal margin, 3-1.
And John Leclerc scores his first goal of this series. And he scores it from an area that he usually scores from. And is this one going to be reviewed? Yes, it is. But watch Buffalo get mixed up in the zone. As McKee stands on the shot, and right here, Buffalo have two defensemen behind the net. As McKee and Shannon get caught back there, and Leclerc ends up with this chance in front. And it's tapped by the goaltender, Steve Shields, and for a moment, the Flyers have a 3-1 lead.
as they review it.
The original effort at the net, it went off a skate. And I think Leclerc touched it after it went off the skate. I believe he did.
I thought he did too. As the puck was loose in front. Here's another look. Now, Shannon and McKee get tied up behind the Buffalo net. And Sabres actually kicked at the puck. And there it's clearly tapped in by Leclerc. And I do not believe anyone was crease on that.
Except maybe Leclerc. His skate was awfully close to being in there.
Yep. And it's taking them a while to make the call on this.
Either Philadelphia still leads by 1 or they lead by 2.
Now the crowd's trying to help them make the decision.
I'm sure they are.
As they're up, standing and clapping.
And the referee Schick is having difficulty hearing on the telephone.
They set a record here the other night for the most people to ever watch a hockey game in Philadelphia. 20,051, I believe it was. And there's the rule. Section of a goalkeeper, if a player of the attacking side is standing in the goal crease, the puck should enter the net. The goal.
No goal. No goal.
So John Leclerc does not score, and the score remains 2-1 Philadelphia. Well, that's such a tough rule, isn't it? And the anguish on the face of John Leclerc and the coach Terry Murray. It does not count. And the face-off outside the Buffalo blue line with 5:01 to go. Here's another look at it. Sabres deflects the puck with his skate as it comes to the front of the net right here. And John Leclerc on the left will tap the loose puck by the goaltender. And they're saying that Leclerc skate was in the crease when the puck went over the goal line, because it certainly wasn't Sabres.
Buffalo gets a reprieve. There's a pass to Galley, feeding it up the middle. Up on the wing to May. May in over the line. Tried to get it in front to Barnaby. May after it again. Ducking away from a balloon into the corner. Now they'll jam it around to the boards again. Howardchuk catches up with it. Didn't get it out, but now it's left out to center ice. Galley getting it back and sliding it across for May. May bumped along the boards. Pushing and shoving there, trying to kick it free. Galley recovers. Galley across ice. Looked up ahead. May after it again. And that's going to be ruled a 2-line pass on the upside. Flyers have one call back. Still lead by 1 on Empire.
Come on, show me your new smile. Oh, I see. We're all grown up now. Pretty soon, it'll be boyfriends, tuition, a wedding. No, sorry, just kidding. I suppose pretty soon you'll be needing a car.
Really?
Really? That's a smile.
Dad.
Oh, that was a smile. I think we can take a check. Check, please.
Why was Auto Choice the right choice for you?
The average car cost $20,000. We had 12.
I picked out my car on the computer. No haggle prices. I didn't have to negotiate.
Variety, they have over 300 choices.
And I browsed while she was in the playroom.
Auto Choice, the right choice.
I liked the price guarantee.
We got a great deal.
It was quick, easy, and painless. It just felt good buying here.
Auto Choice, best selection, lowest price guaranteed.
Welcome back. Coming up in our second intermission, Gary Galley will be our guest. We'll also send it to the Empire Studios for an NHL playoff update, and Rick and Jim will take a look back at this second period. Let's go back upstairs.
4:23 remaining here in period 2 as Lindros will face off against Holzinger. Step popping out to Desjardins. Gains the line, flips it in, Shipnick recovering. Shipnick cruising around, swinging it up ahead, but it hit the linesman at center ice. And Shipnick ran into Leclerc. Grosek knocks it down. Grosek with a pass ahead to Holzinger. Couldn't get away. Grosek trying to carry on. Does! And is called on the offside, and Grosek
and LeClaire, and now the Flyers start ganging up on Grosek in the corner, and that brings a few more of those black sweaters over.
Well, of course, they're upset, Philadelphia, because Michael Grosek shot the puck after the whistle blew. And no penalties called on the play. Sabres immediately send Michael Pekka's line onto the ice. Eric Lindros looks towards the bench. Let's listen for the whistle on this play.
Well, he shot before the whistle. They're probably saying he knew he was onside.
Yeah,
right?
it was pretty difficult to hold up at the shot in that situation. The example, Terry Murray wanting to keep Lindros on the ice, keeps him out there, and the Sabres get the matchup that they want in this.
Snowick dumping it in. Lindros stepped into him. Desjardins drops it off to Zubras at center ice, and then Ward got tripped up, and he's slow at getting to his feet. Zubras to the Buffalo line, and Ward went piling into Lindros and not very happy. Desjardins trying to get away again, slipping it off into the corner. LeClaire charging in after it. LeClaire got it in front, taken away by Zhitnik. Zhitnik flinging it up on the wing to Daw. Daw through center, sliding it into the corner. Ward hustling in there after it, can't get there in time, and this is going to be another icing coming up against Buffalo.
Notice where Buffalo shot that puck, though. When they do shoot the puck in, you have to keep it away from Garth Snow because he's very good at handling the puck. What you want to do is what the Sabres attempted to do on that play, dump it softly into the corners into an area where it's a real gamble for the goaltender to come out and get it. Snow did not even try to get to that puck. And if he would have tried and gotten caught, the Sabres would have had a scoring chance on an empty net.
The only Western Series still underway after Detroit eliminating Anaheim is Colorado and Edmonton. And in Edmonton tonight, the Avalanche on a first period goal by Kamensky. The Oilers 1-0. Now they're ready to go again. Back to Swoboda. There's his shot. Shields made the save and was hammered in the goal crease. Is still down on the ice and no penalty was called. Shields is still lying on the ice. No penalty called. Now this is a joke, folks. This is absolute. Now Barnaby's over at the Buffalo bench saying, "Who did it? Who did it?"
Now the linesman talking to the referee. Shields was just wiped out. Now we saw 2 goaltender interference penalties called the last game in this building.
Well, Shannon wants a piece of Lacroix. Now Kordic comes over and he's trying to get involved with Barnaby. Shields down on the ice being tended to by trainer Jim Pizzatelli. He was absolutely crushed in the goal crease. And there was no penalty call.
And the rule states the opposition must attempt to avoid a collision. The Flyers did not. Shields down on the ice, in the crease. And Rob Schick now is skating to the penalty box.
But he was down there watching the play.
Absolutely he was. And here's the play, and clearly that collision by Lacroix he made no attempt to avoid.
And now they're calling the penalty.
They're calling a penalty.
I have to believe the linesman pointed it out, but Rob Schick was right down in the corner of the rink when it took place.
Rob Schick did not have his arm up in the air to call a penalty. And we must assume that indeed the linesman did make the call. Granted, a referee cannot see everything that happens on the ice.
No, I bet that.
But boy, that was pretty obvious. But it is called, and the Sabres do go on the power play. Shields appears to be okay.
He got smoked.
Oh, he got such a vulnerable position. A goaltender attempting to make the save, concentrating totally on the puck. And then you get somebody that runs over top of you. Here's the shot coming in. And Lacroix just crushes the goaltender. Where it pays to the size of Steve Shields at 6'3", 6'4", well over 200.
This with 3:15 left on the clock in the second period, and Philly up by 1.
I wish that they'd get this game speeded up. Dick is talking to everybody and talking to the linesmen, and now he's going to talk to Desjardins.
Desjardins came off the bench to have a chat with him.
Oh boy, oh boy. 3:15 to go. Get the game going. This is where even the faceoff in the neutral zone. Joel Otto, the best faceoff guy in Philadelphia. This is where you must win the draw if you're Buffalo. Go on the attack or get the puck in the zone.
Plant who brings it in over the line. Plant looking in front of the net. It went all the way to the corner. Galley holding it in. There's Galley dropping it off to Plant again. Plant swinging around, trying to spread him out. Feeds it over to Galley. Galley back to Derek Plant. Plant will give it to Galley. Galley turning to Plant. One-timer, and he fired it wide, and it goes all the way down the ice. Galley back to collect it again. He's watched by Trent Platt coming off the bench. Up through the middle to Burridge. Burridge to the flyer line. Rolled it in, but it's recovered by Brindamore. Jammed around on the boards. Burridge keeping it in. Platt and to knock it free. Does, and it went all the way to Brindamore, and he'll have time to bring it away to center ice. Flipping it up the middle. All the way to Shields. Shields takes it away from Platt, getting it around to Galley. Galley starting out for Buffalo. Takes it as far as center, and a pass to Audette, got away from him. Snow way out of the net. Pekka trying to pick up the puck. It rolls around on the boards, pinching in. Holzinger keeping it in. Came beside the net again. Knocked down was Burridge. Pekka wheeling it back. Holzinger to Galley. Galley looking to Holzinger. Holzinger feeds it into Pekka, and it jumps off his stick and goes out of play.
And Buffalo's attempting to move the puck around the outside and just not shooting the puck enough. Buffalo able to get position in front of a goaltender, and if you're the guy that stands in front of the net, you only have a second or two when you're in the proper position. But if the point men don't shoot the puck, you're no good standing there. That has happened on a continual basis, too, for Buffalo. 40 seconds remaining in the Sabre power play.
They have only 4 shots on goal in this period. They only have 10 in the game. Philly has 23. Jardin moving up on the play, got it to the line, not out. Plant holding it in, rolling it into the corner right in front of the net, but it hit a leg, and it's tipped out to center ice. Gipnick came across and wiped out Otto, but Otto did the job by clearing the zone. Smellick being chased around back there, squeezes it over to Gipnick. He'll leave it to Smellick again. Brindamore gets involved, almost stole it away. Only a dozen seconds left on the power play with a pass up to center. Daw sending it through. Here's Plant taking a shot. That one is blocked by Terrien, and it's chipped off the boards out to center. Covered by Zhitnik as Lacroix steps back on. Zhitnik trying to find somebody. Philly's making a change. Smellick flipped it, didn't get it out as he got knocked down. Lindros keeping it in. Drops it back. It's cleared in beside the net. Came out in front. There's a penalty here to Buffalo as Ward picks up the puck. The Sabres are going to be penalized now. And Leclerc was knocked down, and then Lindros came over and nailed Gipnick from behind.
Now a hooking penalty to Buffalo, and Sabres turned the puck over in the zone. Flyers attacking the front of the net. Smellick goes to the box. It was Smellick who turned the puck over near the blue line. The turnover, once again, as Lindros knocks him down to the ice. Particularly when you're against this line, that puck has to go across your blue line when you're in that position. Shields a big save on the quick backhand shot in front of the net, but the penalty is called. 53.8 seconds to go, a face-off to the right of Shields.
Oh, they'll bring Pekka out again on the draw. Brindamore, or Howardchuk, pardon me, is going to take it for the Flyers.
They replaced Howardchuk. He's taken Renberg's spot on this power play.
Renberg hasn't played that much tonight.
No, he's suffered from the flu in Game 3. Perhaps it's still bothering him.
Ronan couldn't get it out. It's hooked around to Shannon. His backhand through the middle to Ronan. Ronan, back pass, left for Pekka. Pekka swings in over the line. Took his shot, and Snow got a leg on that. Pekka scooping it around to Ronan on the other side. Ronan going to keep it in there to take time off the clock. Ties up his check. They jam on the boards again. Lindros pries it free. Lindros to center ice, tapping one in. Galley got in front of him. Cross in the corner, leaves it to Leclerc, around on the other side. Ninema back at the point. Ninema flipped it into the corner again to Leclerc. He scoops it around on the boards. Shaw racing after it, trying to get out of there. He bounced into Coffey. Coffey holding it in. Now they kick at it again. It's chipped back into the corner again. Slicked around on the boards. Fired back to Ninema. Let his shot go as the buzzer signals the end of the second period.
Now the Philadelphia Flyers with a 2-1 lead. The Buffalo Sabres very much still in this hockey game to get more offense going in the Philadelphia zone. If they prolong, or I beg your pardon, extend the series to 5 games.
The only goal scored in the second period, that by the Flyers, and they move into the lead here at the Core State Spectrum. Which coach will advance in this series? Ted Nolan or Terry Murray?
Comparing a Sierra to anything else in the corral is like comparing a champion thoroughbred to a petting zoo pony. Because right now, you get the room, the comfort, and 230 of the most powerful horses out there. All at a price that's beyond compare. Lease a Sierra for just $299 a month for 36 months, or get 7.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 60 months. See your Empire State GMC dealer today.
If your bank is going through a lot of changes lately, now's the time to change to M&T. We're offering great rates, like our 13-month CD at 6% and a 30-month CD at 6.5%. A free $50 U.S. savings bond when you open your CD, and more ways to make banking more convenient for you. So make a change for the better and change to M&T, all the bank you'll ever need.
Hey, Sabres fans, what better way to see every game than as a Sabres season ticket holder? Be part of a special group of people with special privileges. As a season ticket holder, you have more benefits and more options. You get to design your own season ticket package to include just what you want. Choose from benefits like membership in the Harbor Club, reserved parking, pre-season options, and more. Plus, as a season ticket holder, you get a week's head start on individual game tickets. That means a week before tickets go on sale to the general public next fall, you can buy extra tickets for any game, up to the number of season tickets you own. Also this season, many of the prices have been cut. For the first time in many years, all season ticket prices in the lower bowl have been reduced. Get close to the action. Great seats are still available in all price ranges. And there's lots more. So if you don't want to be shut out of the action, call the Sabres season ticket hotline at 855-4130 for more information.
Welcome back to our second intermission here of Sabres hockey on the Empire Sports Network. The Flyers leading the Sabres 2-1 after 2. Gary Galley is our guest. And Gary, what assess the team's play so far in the first two?
Well, I think we came out like a team that was down 3-0. We came out, we didn't want to make any mistakes early to give them a chance to get on us. The last couple of games, they scored some goals early on us and got us down. So tonight our power play is moving the puck well. We have a goal off it already and moving well. Hopefully we can get a couple more chances in the third and get back in it.
How tough does it make it all special teams? Like a lot of penalties are being called in this game.
Well, it's become frustrating, I think, for the players because the playoffs started and the referees were calling the games a certain way. They were all calling it the same way. They were letting the little chippiness go and the banging, and the games were we're up and down. And then what's happened over the last 4 or 5 days is that they've met and they've made a decision to crack down on everything now. So what's happening is, especially working through the power play playoffs now. You know, I think it takes a little bit away from it, but you know, they're calling every game that way, so both teams have to be aware of it.
I guess it's safe to say it's all on the line now in this third period, down 2-1.
Well, you know, it's do or die. Every game for us is Game 7 now, and it has to be you know, the best period of the year for us. You know, we took 2 penalties early. Got to stay out of the box. Got to play 5-on-5. I think you know, come out and play real strong, disciplined third period. Crack at getting a goal, and you know, we'll take our chances in overtime, or if we get a couple, we'll head her back to Buffalo.
What will be the discussion in the locker room as you head into the?
I think the discussion is basically we need some guys to step up and make some big plays for us. And well, it doesn't matter who it is; it could be anybody. But we need to step up and dig into our bag of tricks here and find some big plays, because we need to pull out a win here.
All right, thank you very much, Gary Galley, our guest here in the second intermission. When we come back, we'll send it to our Empire Studios for an NHL playoff update with Mike Robitaille and Brian Blessing. The score after 2, Philly leading Buffalo 2-1.
I had to go out of town, so my best friend said Max could stay with them. Max and Charlie got along great, except that Max kept eating Charlie's food, Purina One brand. So I checked. There's no better nutrition, and Purina One lamb and rice formula has real lamb as the #1 ingredient. That designer dog food I'd been feeding Max has corn as the #1 ingredient. Oh, Max eats Purina One now, and we both couldn't be happier.
If you're having debt problems, we can help. We're Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Buffalo.
I felt my whole world was crashing down. You were very understanding and worked out a payment program with my creditors. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have gone bankrupt.
Our counseling is free and confidential. We're here to help. Call 854-1710.
They're really your employees, but they feel a lot like your family. You're fond of many of them and accustomed to the rest of them. And for almost 60 years, GHI has been helping employers like you give their employees the kind of health care they want. Employees get direct access to doctors and hospitals throughout New York State, and you get a reasonable price tag for it all. GHI, we put the care back in health care.
It was a night to remember, as last June, a packed Memorial Auditorium paid tribute to the great Eliot Apollo. On June 6th in the Marine Midland Arena, the Wrestling Legends return, along with the greatest stars of the WCW, to present Wrestling Legends 2. Also on that night, a special tribute to the greatest quarterback in Bill's history, Jim Kelly. The greatest stars of the past and present again unite to raise money for Children's Hospital and the Apollo Scholarship Fund. Names like Lex Luger, the Giant, and the dreaded New World Order. Tickets on sale at the arena at all fantastic locations.
About the top of the 6th, the guys stop talking to you. By the 7th, they won't even look at you. It's the loneliness that always tells you you're on the verge of a no-no. The solar eclipse of baseball. But don't worry. There's always somebody who wants to share the moment.
Larry Walker and the Blake Street Bombers battle Pittsburgh. Thursday at 7 on Empire Sports.
Welcome back to our second intermission here after 2 periods in Game 4. The Flyers lead the Sabres 2-1. Mike Robitaille and Brian Blessing standing by for an NHL playoff update. Guys?
Okay, Dennis, thank you very much. Michael, the Flyers are playing like they want to get this thing over with, and Steve Shields is doing all he can to make sure that's not the case.
Spectacular. He's given this hockey club once again an opportunity to win a hockey game, and here they go into the third period with that opportunity, and everything's at stake here. So we counted it was something like 13 chances Philadelphia had in the first period. That's usually enough to win about a game and a half. But I counted like, I believe, 7 point-blank shots that he just made spectacular saves off good shooters.
All right, there is one other game to speak of this evening. Let's get to it. We've got the highlights for you. They get that oil thing working again down there.
There's the gusher, baby.
The gusher's working as the Oilers came up with a win the other night to get back in the series, but good hard work by Valerie Kaminsky here. Outworks the defenseman, backhands at home like.
Number 55, Bannister, really hasn't got good control of the scorer at all. Watch the front of the net here. He doesn't pick him up, not strong enough, and he should be. He's a lot bigger than Kaminsky.
All right, after one, it's 1-0 Colorado over the Oilers. What are you expecting from the Sabres? This could be the end of the season.
Well, let it all out.
Yeah,
I mean, one big period here of the three, and who knows, they're down one. I mean, they could surprise everyone. Philly probably figures they have this game in the bag, and it looks that way. That's when you catch them napping.
All right, we'll be here after the game on the hotline. Hope you'll join us then. It's 2-1 Philly after 2. We're sending it back to Philadelphia for the third period shortly.
There's Sandy when we drove through St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
The Grand Canyon.
Some vacation.
Vacation? No. This was our Escort test drive.
Now get an incredible 1.9 APR financing on the all-new Ford Escort. There's never been a better time to take one for a serious test drive.
Next, San Francisco.
Who's the guy?
Oh, him. That's Fred, our Ford dealer. He'd never been to the coast before.
Really?
Test drive an Escort at your local Ford dealer today.
Patients are surprised to find that at Erie County Medical Center, they have cardiac surgery of international quality.
Dr. John Bell Thompson, Director of Cardiothoracic Surgery at ECMC.
The commitment we made, the equipment we have, and the team that pulls it all together is what makes us as good as we are.
If you're facing cardiac surgery or have questions about your heart, count on Western New York's heart surgery leader, ECMC.
Hi, I'm Howard Simon, co-host of Fan TV. When the Sabres goaltending situation blew up on Friday, Fan TV gave you extensive coverage from Philadelphia.
He's 100% enough to play, yes, he is.
We're going on the premise that Dominic Hasek's going to be our starting goaltender tonight, unless he can't.
If you're asking the wrong guy, you'd have to ask Ted Nolan. But as far as I'm concerned, what Ted's told me, he's playing.
Weeknights at 4:30, Fan TV, your voice, your choice.
Have you outgrown your current position or find yourself unemployed? Then it's time to look in the National Business Employment Weekly. You'll find top jobs with top companies and advice on landing them. Order 8 issues for only $38 and you'll also get the job search guide free. Look in the National Business Employment Weekly. You never know what you'll find.
To subscribe, call 800-342-2800. That's 800-342-2800.
Fight Time on Fox is the drop zone for champions, and this time light heavyweight champ Michael Nunn, with a record of 50-3 plus 32 KOs, wants to turn the lights out on Robert Foley. And reigning NABF light heavyweight champ Berke Sosa, with a record of 28-5-2 with 24 knockouts, faces St. Louis's original Charles Oliver. Fight Time on Fox will really knock you out. Budweiser presents Fight Time on Fox, Saturday at 8 on Empire Sports.
Track and bring in the guy we talk hockey with, but we'll...
Here in Philly. And it was a turnover that led to Buffalo's demise.
We've been talking about those defensive turnovers in this series. Critical for Buffalo to cut down on them. It doesn't happen on this play. Alex Zivnik ends up with the puck, attempts to move it up the board. Still, Howard-Chuck intercepts it. And watch the great shot that Howard-Chuck makes. Here comes Zivnik with the puck. He tries to force the puck up the boards. Howard-Chuck picks it off. Sabres get no support in Howard-Chuck, and he makes a great shot over the left glove or over the left shoulder of Steve Shields, and that so far has been the difference in this hockey game as Howard-Chuck fires in his second goal of the playoffs.
Howard-Chuck had somebody else, but elected to take the shot himself instead of passing. Second of the playoffs, and unassisted it is, so Philadelphia has the lead. That's actually the first lead they've had in the game. The Sabres scored first by Donald Audette in the opening period. But Philly's on top heading into period 3.
In Western New York.
playoffs, the time when heroes become legends. It is not for the faint of heart.
Can you imagine the anticipation, the anxiety?
That's what the playoffs look like.
There's nothing like it, folks. Where will the Stanley Cup rest?
Hey, I'm James from Metallica. Get Cup crazy because nothing else matters.
Patients are surprised to find that at Erie County Medical Center they have cardiac surgery of international quality.
Dr. John Bell Thompson, Director of Cardiothoracic Surgery at ECMC.
The commitment we made, the equipment we have, and the team that pulls it all together is what makes us as good as we are.
If you're facing cardiac surgery or have questions about your heart, count on Western New York's heart surgery leader, ECMC.
If your bank is going through a lot of changes lately, now's the time to change to M&T. We're offering great rates, like our 13-month CD at 6% and a 30-month CD at 6.5%. A free $50 U.S. savings bond when you open your CD, and more ways to make banking more convenient for you. So make a change for the better and change to M&T, all the bank you'll ever need.
Sabres Playoff Hockey is brought to you in part by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By Discover, it pays to discover. And by Tops Friendly Markets. Tops never stops saving you more. And you'll take a look statistically in this game that it's certainly favoring Philadelphia in every area.
Of course, particularly in the scoring chances, a wide margin for the Flyers. But Buffalo right in this hockey game, thanks to the great play of Steve Shields. Sabres begin this third period. And in the penalty box,
Relic with 1 minute and 7 seconds left to serve in his hooking penalty. And it'll be Lindros up front for the Flyers. Fired in right on Snow. He'll handle that and drop it off to Coffey. Coffey tipping it up to center ice now. Howard Chuck got checked, but then he got it back again. Got it in over the line. Flyers keeping it in with LeClaire. LeClaire to the point. The long shot. The rebound right in front of the net. Not out. Kept in by Desjardins to Coffey. Coffey back to Desjardins. Into Howard Chuck in the corner. Howard Chuck trying to set it up now. Desjardins took his shot. Shields got an arm on that. It's picked out of the air by Ward and sent to center. Heck up. Wood, he almost stole it away. Coffey trying to come back. Let's bank knocked down at the line. Now taken by Lindros, 2-on-1. Lindros turning, took his shot, Shields the save, and he scooped it away. Lindros hit by Pekka in the corner. Flyers keep it in. Back to Desjardins to Coffey. Coffey holding it in there to Desjardins. In it comes to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck looking in front, hanging on to the puck, across to Coffey. Coffey keeping it in to Desjardins. Buffalo back at full strength. Tapped around behind the net. Tim out in front. Broken up but not out. Back behind the goal again, and Shannon rings it around on the boards, and this will make its way all the way down the ice, but the Sabres do another good job of penalty killing.
And Steve Shields does his thing between the pipes. Brilliant stop on Eric Lindros. Let's go downstairs now, and here's Dennis Williams.
Thanks, guys. I talked to assistant coach Paul Terrio before the start of this period. He said they told the guys not to hold anything back. Obviously, there's just 20 minutes left, and he said they're going to throw everything at the Flyers but the kitchen sink to send this thing back to Buffalo. Let's go back upstairs.
You got to let her all go here.
Yeah, you got a period left. Yeah.
Down 2-1, 18:39 to go. Sabres, a line of Holzinger along with Ed Ronan and Donald Adet. Otto is on the ice again for the Flyers, and he played a major role in tonight's game, particularly the penalty killing.
Out there, Podine and Platt. It's tapped behind the net. Kept in, but Billy came in front. Podine swinging around. He got knocked out, and it's tipped just wide of the goal. In by Platt. Platt trying to shovel it back. Does to Otto. Feeds it across to Podine. Took his shot. Shields picked that one off, and brother, He reached behind him to make that save.
Well, you can't have a quicker glove than that. My goodness. From our position up here in the broadcast booth, as Rick mentioned, it looked as though the puck was behind the body of Shields, and somehow he got the left glove on the hard shot from Podine. Watch this piece of goaltending. Oh, he picked that puck
off the goal line.
Off the goal line, that's right. Boy, that was close. Steve Shields again here with 4 shots already. Brilliant.
Kelly tipping it out to Barnaby. Barnaby feeding one through the middle, but it's knocked down by Falloon, and he'll chip it right back in again. That deflected, tipped in, and Brindamore fired it wide. Groshek can't get it out. Flyers keeping it in, into Brindamore again. Brindamore looking in front of the net, turned around by Schmeling. Sent back to the point, long shot is knocked out. Barnaby couldn't get it out. Really keeping it in there, putting the pressure on Buffalo. Brindamore to Swoboda. Taken away, and now Buffalo coming out with a pass up to Barnaby. He's onside. Barnaby trying to get it on goal. Got hauled down. And what is going to be the call here? Hooking.
That won't be a penalty shot, but I know you were thinking the same thing as I was. It could have been perhaps called a penalty shot. Nice bounce pass off the boards in the neutral zone by Derek Plant to set up the break by Matthew Barnaby, and Swoboda takes the hooking penalty. Here's the play. Look at that nice pass off the boards. Great timing. And Swoboda, there's the hook. And he pulls Barnaby down to the ice. I think they were claiming that Barnaby wasn't open enough for it to be called a penalty shot. Barnaby attempts to fight off Swoboda, but can't do it. Figures, what the heck, I might as well crash into the goaltender while I'm at it. Strong play by Barnaby. Buffalo power play. A face-off in the Flyer zone.
Barnaby's face is up on the Jumbotron, and that's the reason for the booing in the background. And every time they put him up, they boo louder, and he loves it. Dardan now swinging it around. Lindros trying to get it out, and he does. Cut by Otto. Otto getting it over the line. Broken up. Lindros fires one and rips it wide. Lindros couldn't keep it in. It came back to the point. Terrien stuffing it back into the corner. Bodine charging in there now as the Sabres can't control the puck to get anything going. And Otto fires it up the side of the net. Now, Pekka will slow things down. Pekka starting away, tips it up on the wing. Scooped in over the line, but broken up by Terrien, and he fires it away. Around on the board. Pekka took a bump, sent it to the other side. Sabres bringing it out now with Galley for Pekka. Pekka trying to get away at center ice, lost it. Flyers tip it in the other direction. That's knocked down right at center ice. Recovered by Burridge in over the line. Burridge looking shot and fired it wide. Round on the boards. Galley keeping it in. Long shot just ripped wide by Pekka. Burridge after it again. Stuffs it into Audette. Tipped it in front. Rebound right beside the net. And it's cleared off the boards but not out. Pekka holding it in. He fires it in. There's the shot. They score! Derek Plant sitting all alone beside the net and slams it in. And Buffalo with its second power play goal of the game to tie it at 2.
Well, how valuable is Michael Pekka to this hockey club? What a great play he makes at the left point to keep the puck in the zone, and he makes a perfect, accurate, hard pass to Derek Plant, set up the scoring chance. Plant puts it in. Look at this. Watch this play by Pekka as he gets in position. Look at this quick pass. Great shot by Plant upstairs. They know that Snow likes to go down. Ted Nolan is about to jump out of his skin again on this play. So Derek Plant scores on the power play for Buffalo. This game is tied. 16:26 to go here in regulation.
Well, 20,066 people are making the least amount of noise I've ever heard.
Throughout this whole game, they've been quiet, haven't they?
This is another record crowd. They established a record crowd to see a hockey game in Philadelphia in the game on Wednesday night. 20,015, I believe it was. Tonight they have 20,066 here.
Well, this is ridiculous what's going on here again. This has taken forever to get the play underway. As Chick allowed Buffalo to take their time putting their lineup on. Kerry Murray just refused to put players out there, and only now has he sent the Lindros line onto the ice.
All even again. Ahead to Leclerc, trying to get away at center. It's knocked down at the line, tipped in the other direction by Schmeling. Pekka coming over the boards now for Buffalo. Swoboda sending it across. Here's Ninema. He dribbles it ahead. It's knocked down at the blue line. Schmeling takes it away. Cleared it, but not out. Schmeling after it again as he pumps in there along with Renberg. Renberg working him over, but taken away and cleared out to Pekka at center, coming with Ward. Pekka swings in over the line, trying to cut around the defense. Swoboda knocked it away. Off the boards. Schmeling holding it in. His shot knocked out. Rebound, fired in front, scooped away and set down the ice by the Flyers as Buffalo comes within a whisker of taking the lead. 15 and a half minutes remaining here in the third period. Derek Plant ties it up.
While panning for gold one day, Will found a strange, sweet-smelling root. He took it back to camp, put it in a pot, and added some secret ingredients. You know, I reckon Will never did find gold, but after he tasted the sweet, creamy liquid, he knew he'd found something far more valuable. Well, folks, that's the legend, and this is the root beer.
I would like to show you my Discover Card statement by Paul Poundstone. Well, I don't know that my Discover Card statement has changed since I became a foster mom, because I always bought toys. But now, of course, privately, I'm forced to give them to the children. When I was invited to the inaugural ball, I did have to find a ball gown, and I like to think I found a lovely understated little number.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I need cash advances. I just need to be slathered in ones and fives.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Fellow who got the tying goal for Buffalo will now take the face-off against Brindamore. Dardan knocked down in front of the net. Roll to score! Michael Groshek stops in his backhand right off the face-off. And the Buffalo Sabres get two quick ones and take the lead for the second time in the game.
And the Sabres, who have not had great success on face-offs tonight, come up with a huge play, and the Flyers, with 15:32 to go in regulation, have lost the lead as Michael Groshek scores off this draw in the Flyer zone. Barnaby with a great job to go to the net, and Groshek with a quick backhand shot puts it by Snow. And we're going to look at this one again, folks. This is the third time, or is it the fourth time tonight we've gone upstairs?
Well, it's 4
who's
goals.
counting?
It must be 4 times. I don't know. 5 goals. It must be 4 times. But nobody was in the crease.
No.
Get a chance to look at it again. You will see no Buffalo Sabres skate that goal crease. And the way Philadelphia is treating it, I think that they realize that to be the case as well. Heading into last night's action in the playoffs, 39 goals of struggle. I know we keep saying this, but they're going to have to revisit this situation. It's ludicrous, and it affects every team. Not favoring one team or another, but
that was quite a strong play, though, off the face-off by Derek Plant, Matt Barnaby. Great job of assistance to go to the front of the net. Michael Groshek went there, too, and ended up with the loose puck. This is taking some time, and I'm surprised because both Rick and I felt that really nobody in the general area, but maybe there was. Matt Barnaby is the guy that went to the front against Desjardins. Flyers have had a goal disallowed here tonight.
well, they're still looking at it. Finished looking at it, and it is a goal.
And the Buffalo Sabres have taken the lead here in Philadelphia.
It's very anticlimactic. I mean, this is another thing about the rule. The reviewing.
Now let's look at the goal. Now, Barnaby was very close, so he gets knocked down by the goaltender. I don't know what took so long on that one. Gee with.
But be that as it may, Buffalo has the lead again with 15 and a half minutes left on the clock. And the Flyers, before the puck is dropped, change up on defense.
Now, the Sabres are going to make a change, too. The second line, at the first opportunity, will go to the bench. I've said it before. Buffalo, the best team in the league at changing on the fly and getting the matchups they want.
Sloboda trying to get away at center ice, taken back. Shannon lost control of it, has to charge after it again. Now he turns and feeds it ahead to Audette. Try to tip it through center. Does! Here's Burridge. Checked at the last second by Dinema. Burridge keeping it in. Sloboda picking it up behind the goal. He works it across to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck scooping it high in the air. That'll bounce all the way back. Brindamore after it. Tied up in there by Holzinger. Up on the wing. Burridge tried to flip it through center. Podine recovering. Podine now bouncing one in. That'll go wide of the net. Shannon scoops it around to the boards. Audette didn't get it out. After it again. Didn't get it out again. Flyers keeping it in. Now it'll slither out over the line. Coffey covering for Philadelphia. Works it over to Dykhouse. This will be chipped back in over the Buffalo line. Shannon didn't get it. Podine in front. Backhand right on. Rebound. Shoots down and comes up his arm into the net. And Philadelphia on the goal by Trent Platt has come back to tie the game 1 minute after the Sabres had taken the lead.
Well, Steve Shields with a great stop on the first shot, a great stop on the second shot, but Trent Platt scores on the third shot. Great play, the Flyers beating Buffalo to the puck. There's one save, and the puck bounces off Shields into the net, and the Flyers tie it with 14:32 to go. That was Podine. Made a terrific play in front of the net. And Philadelphia answers Buffalo by tying the score here in the third.
Oh, even again. Platt tried to get away at center. Schmelik steered it ahead, but Barnaby could not pick it up. It'll be bounced in right on Shields, and he is going to hang on to it as Joel Otto was hanging around.
One thing that you have to be concerned with for Buffalo is their defense. Richard Schmelik and Alex Zipnik have played a ton here tonight. You wonder, particularly after what happened in the first period. Buffalo killed a lot of penalties. Zipnik, Schmelik were out there for a lot of that time. They've also had all kinds of ice time against the line of Lindros, and they're on the ice now. Have to be concerned if you're the Sabres about that Sabre defense wearing down here in the third because what happened earlier in this game.
Zipnik fires it around. Ward will tap it back through center ice. Sloboda turning. Squeeze it up ahead to Zubras. Zubras to the Buffalo line. He got hammered as Pekka stepped into him. Now in over the line. Daw got tagged with an elbow from Sloboda. No penalty called there. Down to the board. Flyers bringing it out to Zubras. Bring it in, and he's swung it right over the boards and out of play, and then Lindros turned around and flashed Pekka.
Well, Michael Renberg obviously is not feeling well enough. Zubras has taken his position with Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, the Legion of Doom line. Zubras, and 19 years old. Here's a terrific hit. Pekka does this better than anyone in the league, I think, as he knocks Zubras down just at the Buffalo blue line. An open ice hit. And again, the Flyers take their sweet time in putting their lineup onto the ice. Sabres are ready. Otto comes over the boards. Now, Joel Otto has played a major role in tonight's game, both defensively. Has taken all the face-offs, and not all of them, but the really important face-offs in the Philadelphia zone. Taking his regular shift.
Up in by Desjardins into the corner. It'll be hooked along the boards, but not out. Ronan catches up with the puck. Leading it ahead. Holzinger didn't get it out, and now it's stolen away by Audette. Audette just dribbles it back through the middle. Holzinger racing after it. Holzinger in the corner. He's taken out. Ronan gets involved with Terrian. Ronan trying to kick it free to Audette. Audette on the outside. Platt got it around to the boards and clears the zone, and the Flyers are changing. Cannon. Puts it up ahead. Tip back to Shannon again. To Galley. Galley's pass now to Barnaby. Barnaby took his shot. That one will dribble to Snow, and he will hang on to it. Barnaby tried to fight his way in there and now draws the attention of 4 Flyers.
Now, Matthew Barnaby here in Philadelphia is considered the Dennis Rodman of the NHL. They call him public enemy number 36. It was funny. We talked earlier about the talk shows here in Flyers, and everybody hates Matthew Barnaby, and then they're talking about, boy, do we ever wish he were playing for Philadelphia? And Barnaby, when he goes to the front of the net, you know that something is going to happen. Gets into it with Terrien, and then draws a whole bunch of other people. 4 guys surrounding Matthew Barnaby.
Well, Barnaby's getting saluted by 20,066. I won't repeat it, but you can probably figure it out. Barnaby got it back to Schmelik, took his shot, that one dribbled in front of the net, but recovered by Dykhouse. Then it's flipped all the way to center. Shipnick knocking it down, got it up to Plant, to Barnaby. Barnaby tried to feed it in front. He had Groshek going to the net, but it was intercepted. Went to center, Shipnick to Schmelik. Schmelik turning on the wall, taps it ahead, hit the linesman. Plant got checked. Howardchuk swinging it up to Brindamore, but Shipnick is there to take it away. He'll feed it across ice. A pass, deflects to Plant. Plant tried to chop it in, and he hit Dykhouse with it. Dykhouse again. An open wing. Schmelik banking it off the boards, in over the line. Coffey getting it back. Now Dykhouse carrying it out as far as center. It's brought in by Zubras, cutting in on goal again. Took his shot. Shields makes the save, and a penalty coming up now to Buffalo as Zubras busting on goal, and the Sabres will be shorthanded with the game tied.
So, where do you want this? Hey now, I ordered a new copier.
This is better than new, my friend.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Oh, what do we have here? Enlarges, too.
Even Coley. I'll take it.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That was close. I didn't think I could shove this baby through.
It's difficult to improve on works of nature, but somehow we managed. Introducing the new Jeep Cherokee. With over 40 advancements, it's not just different, it's better. Now lease the new Jeep Cherokee for just $239 a month. Check one out at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Gary Galley is in the penalty box. 2 minutes for a hooking Zubras. 12:17 to go in regulation. And another Philadelphia power play. And of course, who else? They sent Lindros up front with LeClaire and Howardchuk. Coffey and Ninema are the point men.
Todd Marchand has scored for Edmonton and tied that game with Colorado at 1 in the second period as Shannon picks up the puck and tips it down the ice. Ninema. His turn to come away. He just fired it in. This is going to be icing if the Sabres catch up with it first, and they do.
A little bit of inexperience. Ninema. They have a collision behind the net. It's Ward and LeClaire mixing it up. But Ninema, when you're that close to a forward, as he was in the neutral zone, you can't make a hard pass. And Coffey is back there talking to Ninema, and I'm sure he's mentioning something like that to him. A little bit of panic or decision by the rookie. There's another guy the Flyers thought that he would be one of the finalists for the Calder Trophy Rookie of the Year. He was not. Had an outstanding season. Has been tutored most of the year since Paul Coffey arrived here in Philadelphia. Having a terrific playoff with 6 assists to lead the NHL rookies.
By the way, we mentioned Todd Marchand. That's his 3rd goal in the playoffs. He got the winner against Dallas in overtime to win that series.
Pride of Buffalo, New York. Came up through the minor hockey system there and doing a great job in the National Hockey League.
Philly still the man advantage here with 12 minutes left on the clock in the 3rd period. Lindros brings it away to center. He'll tap it in and go after it. Shitnick watching him and running him behind the net. Schmelik tying up LeClaire. Brindamore punching away at the puck. Got it to Lindros. Lindros sending it back now to Coffey. And it jumped away and went to center. Coffey has to hustle. Here's Holzinger. Almost stole it. Couldn't get there in time. Tipped ahead. Brindamore coming back. Brindamore brings it in over the line. Lindros ripped the shot. Look out! That one almost made the balcony.
That could have gone to New Jersey if it didn't hit the side of the building here, or the end of the building. But a good reaction by Buffalo at the line as Lindros with the big slap shot that never got to Steve Shields. 1:13 to go. Here's a good play by Shitnick as he will deflect the puck up into the play. And nice job, or a good look at how a defenseman is supposed to play a rush like that. You stay in your lane. He didn't react or overreact.
Much short of our camera up there.
No, close, wasn't it?
And the Flyers keeping it in to Coffey again, swinging it down in front of the net. Kept in by Brindamore. Back to Coffey. Now over on the other side, Desjardins took his shot. Pekka picked it off, and it's dribbled out to center. Coffey got it off the boards. Ward bumping with Desjardins, trying to tie it up at center ice. Taken away and over the line to Brindamore again. That's broken up as Pekka got a piece of it. Left back there to Coffey. Coffey cutting through the middle, slipping it over on the wing. Desjardins getting around the outside. Swinging around now, back to Brindamore, leaving it. Desjardins to Brindamore in front, didn't get his shot away, now he does. Shannon stopped that one. It's right underneath Shannon, the old jam at it in front of the net. Everybody poking at it and play is called. And Bugner finished off Falloon.
It was Waco Pekka who ended up on top of the puck, just off the goal crease area. Nice job by Brindamore. Kept fighting in front of the net for the scoring opportunity. This is Brindamore now on the backhand. Cannon makes a big play, and Pekka will eventually go down on the puck. Face-off coming up to the left of Shields. Great penalty killing by Buffalo. 27 seconds remain, however, in the penalty to Galley. Pekka gives you that added dimension of speed up the middle. They watched him make the play in the power play, and of course he excels at penalty killing and at checking the team's top offensive player.
Trying to tip it around on the glass, does, but Lindros keeps it in to Desjardins, back to Lindros. To Desjardins, he does not shoot, now he does, deflected right in front, Shields knocked it away. Here's Coffey being checked in the corner, and it's sent off the boards, out through center ice. Desjardins gathering it in, working it ahead to Coffey. Coffey to the Buffalo line and over. He'll flip it into Lindros, around behind the net. Lindros still has the puck back there. Lindros got it back to the point, knocked away. The Sabres return to full strength. It's knocked down in front. Selick recovering. Flipped it, didn't get it out. Coffey keeping it in. Stolen away in front of the net by Shitnick. Shitnick plays it to himself and comes away 2-on-1. Shitnick and Burridge. Shitnick pass to Burridge, and it was broken up. But it's called, and there is a penalty coming up here to Buffalo again.
Now, Gary Galley ended up tripping his check in the neutral zone, and that's what set up the 2-on-1 break. He may be getting more than 2 minutes as referee Schick comes back to speak to the timekeeper. Watch behind the play, number 3, Galley, as he hooks down his check in the neutral zone. And he just saved the 2-minute minor, and that was all. I think he might have also tacked on a misconduct, but he did not. Galley takes his second straight penalty. Sabres are hurting themselves. He has 3 penalties tonight. Another critical situation.
And all the action coming your way of all the sports on Fan TV, Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 7 on the Empire Sports Network.
There's a situation, if you're late in the third period with the score tied in the Stanley Cup playoffs, you might get away with something. And Gary Galley was the guy that was telling Dennis Williams that the referees are calling everything and should have known better.
Dykos now chasing after it again, halfway through the third period. Dykos going back into his own end and all the way behind the net, and that draws the ire of the crowd. Now Dykos to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck got away, and it's tipped in over the line. Ninema took his shot, Shields the save. But he juggled it momentarily, but hangs on for a face-off.
You're going to see a great rush by Dale Howardchuck. He's so smart with that great experience. Moving the puck into the zone, he was in danger of losing the puck twice, but because of his stick-handling ability, it didn't happen. Flyers ended up with a scoring chance in the Buffalo zone. Watch these moves in the neutral zone. Right here, there's one as he avoids a sweep check. He's going to avoid another sweep check right here as he taps the puck ahead. The Flyers get the shot on goal. What a nice play by Howardchuck to work the puck into the Buffalo end.
Now the referee Schick is trying to do a job here on Fields' pad. Help him out.
Many hands in there right now. If I hear Steve, you do it now.
I've done all I can. Take it the rest of the way.
This gives the Buffalo opportunity to catch a breather, particularly Alex Zipnik, who's been on the ice a huge amount here tonight, and he remains on the ice along with Daryl Shannon. Sabres, of course, gone primarily with three lines here in the third. We haven't seen Brad May, or very little of him. We haven't seen Rob Ray. Sabres lopsided as far as penalty minutes are concerned.
Back it comes now to Coffey. The shot deflects off Burridge off the glass. Shannon's got his stick held in there. Can't get free. Howardchuck got a hold of his stick. No penalty called there. Philadelphia keeping it in to Howardchuck in the corner. Swings it back to Ninema. Over to Coffey. He took a shot. That deflected right to Ninema. Dribbles it back in again, and the shot knocked down. The rebound stolen away by Burridge. Burridge starting to center ice. Holzinger goes with him. Holzinger swings in over the line. He turns again. Tried to stuff it back in the corner. Ninema getting it back with a minute to go on the penalty. Stolen now by Schmelik at center ice. Schmelik get anywhere, but does a good job, and the Flyers have to regroup to Ninema. Ninema slipping it to Coffey. Coffey will gain the Buffalo line and flip it in to Lindros. Came in front of the net. Rolled around behind the goal. Lindros after it again. Schmelik takes him down. They chop it around on the boards, but it's kept into Zubras. Zubras, he gets tagged by Pekka. Jam away again. Pekka trying to fish it free. Got it momentarily. Zubras got taken off his pins by Pekka. And away to center. Worked up ahead. Here's Zitnik busting around the outside. Zitnik spinning in the corner. To take the time off the clock. Scooped around on the boards. And it's kept in there by Buffalo in front of the net. Here's Ward. Shoots, scores! Dixon Ward hammers it home. And the Buffalo Sabres with a short-handed goal regain the lead.
Well, Alex Zipnik started the play with a great rush into the Philadelphia zone. Derek Platt ended up with the puck in the corner, and Dixon Ward is going to show you some experience. The Flyers, there's the pinch by Derek Platt. Watch this as Ward waits, and lofts the puck into the net. The Sabres have the lead again with 8:07 remaining.
This, folks, is called the patience of Job.
Oh, what a wonderful goal that was by Dixon Ward. Well, are they going to look at this one? No, I guess not.
We're waiting for Philly and
Thank
everybody.
goodness. Thank goodness for that. They've reviewed every other one.
There are still 13 seconds remaining in Galley's penalty. Ahead, recovered by Dykos. He'll swing it across. Desjardins sails it in off the glass. All the way around to Howardchuck. In front of the net, that's knocked down. Shannon comes up with the puck. Shannon tries to squeeze it on the boards. He does. Buffalo back at full strength, but it's kept in there now by the Flyers. And another long shot kicked away in front of the net. Into the boards. Sabres will send it out. Galley flipped by Dykos in the other direction to Howardchuck. Howardchuck sailing one right back in again. Shield swings it around to Grosek. Grosek tipping it up at center. Plant catches up with the puck around the outside to Grosek. Backhand, didn't get anything on that one. Covered by Podine. Podine sliding it up on the wing. Way to center ice. It's broken up as Galley got bowled over, but he did the job as he got in front of Otto. Now it's swung all the way down the ice by Schmelik. And the Flyers carry-in is going to get there first. 7 minutes remaining here in the third period. The Sabres on Dixon Ward's goal regain the lead.
There's something on my Discover Card statement that's a surprise. It's seafoam green. It looks like something from the 50s. It looks vintage. My husband will absolutely freak out when he sees it. He's going to be so excited. I like makeup because I never wore very much before I started singing professionally. My favorite color is a color called faux, as in fake. How many credit cards make a statement like that? The more you spend, the more money you get back. You can't lose. It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Of all the features that have made Dodge Caravan America's best-selling minivan, nothing has been as user-friendly as our revolutionary second sliding door. And now, you can get this second sliding door at no extra charge. Announcing the National Dodge Sale, it's never been easier to get into and out of America's favorite minivan. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Make the right decision, insist on Karuba collation, and it's Michael Pekka who has delivered some enormous blows this year, catching Zubris right at the Buffalo blue line.
7 minutes, 6 seconds to go in regulation. Pekka is on the ice again, and Buffalo wants that matchup against the Lindros line, and I'm sure that Sabres have a chance. They will make the change. Otto on the ice with Platt and Podine.
Third time Buffalo has had the lead in this game. Podine keeping it in. Ronan broke it up but can't get it out. And fired it wide of the net. They'll chop at it in behind the goal. He tried to keep it in and finally came out in front. He shot right on. Shields makes the save on Podine.
Now the Flyers so strong and dangerous down low, as they have those big forwards that can work the puck to the front of the net. Podine is robbed by Steve Shields. Great pressure save by the Buffalo goaltender, as Klatt makes the perfect pass to the front. Shields not only stops it, but then snares the rebound with the left glove. And the Sabres end up with Michael Pekka on the ice, and Lindros line came over the boards. Pekka took his time and did a U-turn and headed right back out there again. So it's Pekka along with Holzinger and Burridge.
Winning the draw and giving it to Shannon. Pekka and Lindros took a rip at each other. Shannon squeezes it up on the wing, doesn't get it out. Shannon gets it back again. Feeds it around behind the net, but it bounces right to Lindros. Coming in front, they'll swing at it right beside the net. Poking away at it, they score! Renberg is going to get credit, and Shields is furious. He's saying, I had a hold of the puck. Why didn't the whistle go? And all the Sabres are challenging the referee shit.
Well, Steve Shields is furious. And Schick is saying, I was there, I saw that the puck was loose, and I think they're going to have to review this one again, too. Now he's going to chat with the linesman. There was a huge pileup in front of the Buffalo goaltender. And again, the Flyers work the puck to the front of the net, and Shields is...
How long does he have to hold it?
Well, there's Schick, though, by the side of the net. I guess he's saying the puck was loose. Let's see.
He's got it tied up under his pads.
Oh, boy.
Well, obviously it's going to go in if you get enough reps at it.
I agree with that. The whistle should have gone on that play. I mean, normally they're so darn quick to blow it. Now they let the play go on.
Nolan is absolutely furious.
And with 6:34 to go in regulation, we're tied again. Boy, oh boy. The Flyers, strong down low. Michael Renberg, who has hardly played in this game, comes off the bench and ties the score. Renberg, suffering from the flu in Game 3, has not played very often tonight. Let's look again as Lindros moves the puck to the front of the net. And here comes Renberg in on the left of the screen. Now, as far as I'm concerned,
Well, they keep chopping at him. He's got the puck.
Oh, now Schick lost sight of it. But did he blow the whistle? He claims no, and the score is tied. That was a call that clearly goes against Steve Shields and the Buffalo Sabres. That play should have been whistled dead.
Instead, Philly has retied it. Swoboda. He'll get to center ice. He's tipping it in around behind the net. Shields coming out to play it around to the boards. Didn't get it out. It's chopped back in the other direction. Shannon catching up with it in the corner. Shannon is turned around. Flyers keep it in. Bloom got it in front. Goes to Barnaby. Barnaby pulling away to center ice. Barnaby slipping it up to Grosek. Grosek charging in along with Ninema, who missed him with a check, and down on the ice go Ninema and Grosek. Sabres holding it in. Grosek's got it again. Grosek gonna fire it in front, and Snow will hang on to that one for a face-off.
Well, a strong play by Michael Grosek in the corner behind the net. Sometimes when you fire the puck to the front of the net like that, it will bounce in off a goaltender's stick. No, that puck did strike his stick, but he was fortunate the puck didn't go in the net. Fortunate that the puck landed around his skate area, and he held on for the faceoff. Let's see if we can hear the whistle on this play. Now, the whistle didn't blow. There's no question about that. At least we hear it. It should have.
Burridge falls. Here's Audette out in front. Burridge trying to shovel it in the short side. It's taken by the Flyers and flung high in the air off the glass at center ice. Brought in over the line. Otto getting squeezed out and turned around. Shields will give it to Shipnick. He feeds it ahead to Burridge. Burridge starting back through the middle now. Burridge tips it in over the line. Holzinger charges in there, trying to feed it in front. Taken away. Burridge after it again, slides in front, and Podine recovers for Philadelphia. Podine coming to center ice. He'll just flip it right into the Buffalo bench.
Well, I think what happened is, go back to that tying goal again by Philadelphia. Referee Rob Schick got his vision blocked by a couple of players, and by the time he skated around behind the net, the puck was already over the goal line, when indeed the whistle should have blown. So in his defense, he was blocked out of the play by a couple of players when the puck should have been whistled dead. Renberg, to his credit, kept persisting and ended up scoring the goal.
Coffey to get to center ice. He's taken out along the boards. Dropped ahead, picked up now by Pekka. Pekka took his shot. Snow kicked it away. Found off the boards by Coffey again. And out as far as center. Lindros chasing after it. He dribbled it ahead and over the line as he goes down. Shannon steers it back through the middle. Coffey takes it away to Dykos. Dykos picking it up ahead. LeClaire sends it across ice. Philadelphia's changing. Coffey just flips it ahead, and it's dumped in wide of the Buffalo net. Galley going after it. This icing coming up against Philadelphia.
They said imports taste better. They lied.
And how does that make you feel?
Used, manipulated, betrayed.
And how does that make you feel?
Used, manipulated, betrayed.
So now what?
Only drink fresh beer. Budweiser.
You have made a real breakthrough. You did it on your own.
Born on dating from Budweiser. What fresh beer tastes like.
You're on the road to freshness. Hold all my calls.
For the Dunlop Tires handle it play of the game.
Excellent play by Derek Plant to set up Dixon Ward in front, and look at these moves. It was indeed a goal of beauty.
A Next time you need tires with a difference, handle it with Dunlop tires. 4:46 left on the clock here in the third. Even at 4. Twice Buffalo has had the lead this period. Groshek. Corner, can't come up with the puck. Desjardins flipped it, didn't get it out. Groshek after it again, stuffs it down low. Barnaby trying to pick it up, went around behind the net. Swoboda flips it around on the glass. Groshek keeping it in there now. Groshek still fighting for the puck. Here's Barnaby trying to help out. Jammed around on the boards again. Kept in by Buffalo, but now recovered by the Flyers. That'll be cleared out to center. Lindros chasing after it. He's offside, and he fired the shot right on.
Well, Lindros was on the ice because Terry Murray wants 2 centermen for a face-off in the Flyer zone. Joel Otto is the guy who takes the draw, but in case he's tossed, Lindros would move in. Lindros, because of the Flyer breakout, ended up being offside inside the Buffalo line with 4:16 to go here in regulation time. Eric really hasn't been a factor tonight. He's been distracted. He's been in the penalty box, 3 times? Undisciplined penalties. Certainly has been the most productive Flyer in terms of points so far in the playoffs.
Holzinger tried to work it in front. Here's Audette. Backhand just went wide. Holzinger after it again. Desjardins scoops it up now for Philly. He'll just ease it out to center to Zubris. Zubris swinging one in. Fields holds it behind the net for Shannon. Hooks it around to May. May to the Flyer line. Off into the corner. Audette gets slowed down. Terrien gets it back. May steps into him. It's now tapped all the way to center ice. Knocked down with Shannon. Shannon's teammates are changing, however. Shannon puts it in and is bumped back there by Terrien. Ninema throws it up to Brindamore. Brindamore sending one through center to Leclerc. Taken back by Galley. Flipped the head down. It's picked off at center ice. Flyers leaving it to Swoboda. Across for Desjardins. Desjardins slipping it in wide of the net. Shields playing up to Shannon. Shannon cranks it off the boards. That misses everybody, and it's going to go down the ice and just make it over the line.
3:13 to go here in the third. One of the disadvantages the Sabres have had all season long is that ability to put a high-scoring offensive line onto the ice where the opposition has to counter perhaps with a defensive line. So that gives Terry Murray the upper hand because he can continually put that Lindros line out there. The Sabres really don't have the scoring line to counter where it might force Terry Murray perhaps to keep the Lindros line away from the high scores. So the advantage really in the line changes go to that guy, the head coach of the Flyers. The Lindros Leclerc line on the ice again. Michael Pekka, of course, is there for Buffalo.
Back to the point, the long shot deflects off into the corner. Lindbergh holding it in to Lindros. Lindros behind the net, looking out in front. Got it in front! And that's tipped away and sent to the blue line, but not out. Flyers hold it in again. There's Schmelik tied up in the corner. Grabbed by Lindros. Leclerc helping out. Leclerc, and a roll around, goes behind the net, right out in front, and he shot it wide. Grant recovers for Buffalo and swings it up ahead to Ward. Ward fires one into the corner. Barnaby charging in after it. Snow tips it away to Ninema. Ninema's passed through the middle. Lindros is turned around by Groshek. And it's tapped ahead and taken back by Coffey. Coffey flipping one across ice to Balloon. Balloon will rip it in. Shannon bumps in there with Brindamore. Shannon comes away with the puck. And slides it around on the other side. Galley's long pass too high for Groshek. Recovered by the Flyers' Dykhouse. He swings it off the glass. That'll come to center as Galley steps into Brindamore. But right back in again. A bouncer is handled back there and left now for Philadelphia. Up the middle to Brindamore. Swings it to Howard-Chuck. Howard-Chuck in over the line. Howard-Chuck looking in front. Tipped around behind the net. Kept in now by Falloon. Falloon trying to swing around. Did. And that one will bounce off Schmelik and go over the glass. With 1:48 left on the clock.
Here in the third period, the Flyers with 13 shots on goal. Buffalo with 8. Pat Falloon has had some great scoring chances in the hockey game. Balloon, who was really at times this season in the doghouse of Terry Murray, but has reemerged for some fine play here in the playoffs. Foxwarren, Manitoba. Spends his summers working on his farm in that part of the country.
Second round draft choice, wasn't he? Or the second draft pick overall, the year that Eric Lindros was
exactly,
chosen.
yes, in Buffalo. And the San Jose Sharks, of course, drafted Falloon after Quebec took Eric Lindros.
Here's Otto trying to swing it in front. Shields knocks that away from Podine. Schmelik involved in the corner as well, and it's pried free by Holzinger. Holzinger to Zhitnik. He wants to go. Gets in over the line. Hustling after it. Audette trying to keep it in. They jam on the boards again, and it's tapped out to center. Podine working it over to Desjardins. Desjardins being challenged by Burridge. Holzinger steals it away, and then in turn loses it. And it's cleared back into the Buffalo end. Covered by Zhitnik. Pushes away from Podine. Zhitnik trying to pull away at center from Lindros, and does. Lindros water skiing on him, and it's cleared back in the other direction. Up through the middle, Lindros has got it again. Here's Lindros cutting in with a shot. Shields the save, and he hangs on as Pekka takes a run at Lindros.
What a great play, though, by Lindros in the neutral zone. As he skipped by Michael Pekka, set himself up for the scoring opportunity. That's not an easy task to go around number 27 in open ice. But Lindros did it beautifully, but could not beat Steve Shields. Here's the play developed. Watch Lindros right here as he goes by Pekka. And that sets up the 2-on-1 break. He does the right thing. He shoots the puck. And Steve Shields does the right thing by challenging.
Snow finds some debris on the ice at the other end, so we'll wait a moment here for another face-off.
Of course, as the Flyers have done all evening, the Sabres send out two center icemen for this face-off. Pekka will take it against Lindros, and if he is tossed from the draw, Derek Plant is there. And the reason you do that, of course, is to have experienced face-off men at this critical stage of a hockey game.
Lindros letting the draw, and Nenema took his shot, and that one banked off Ward right out of play. Down to 54 seconds to go.
That's a key play by Dixon Ward. I mean, plays like that don't show up on a score sheet, but that was a great play by Ward. After Buffalo lost the draw, he got to the point man and blocked the shot. I think Dixon Ward may be the best Buffalo forward at blocking shots from the defense. Pekka's pretty good too, but Dixon Ward is very good at it.
Zubras and Ward shoving at each other. Zubras comes up with the puck and gave it away to Shannon. Pekka and Lindros still going at it out in front of the net. Shannon finds it for Galley. Cross-ice pass. Pekka trying to pick it out of the air. He sweeps it ahead, but it's gunned back in the other direction. Ward will recover. Ward out of the far center ice. Zubras took a whack at it and put it right on Galley's stick. To Shannon. Swings it up ahead. Pekka's got it now. Pekka flipping one in. It'll bounce in wide of the net. And be recovered by the Flyers. Now sent ahead to Leclerc. Leclerc swinging it across to Zubras. He had to wait for it. Finally just dumped it in. Lets it slide behind the net. And the Flyers make a change. They're satisfied to go to overtime. And the Sabres clear the zone, and that's exactly what's going to happen as Desjardins takes a long shot that Shannon flags down, and we are indeed going to OT.
The first time in this series, Michael Renberg scores the tying goal in the third period for Philadelphia after the Sabres had the lead a number of times but could not hold it. We're ready for OT.
Well, the Philadelphia team outshooting Buffalo in the game almost by a 2-1 margin, and certainly by 2-1 in the third period, 16-8. But this one is all even, going to OT on Empire.
When your Ford dealer's got Western New York's best-selling minivan, Ford Windstar, what more could you want?
Actually, I want a great price.
Hey, they've got that covered. Now you can get a 98 Windstar for $279 a month with a red carpet lease. So what else could you want?
Well, what if, I want to buy one?
You want to buy one?
Oh, yeah, I could.
I guess you could. Okay, $1,500 cash back when you buy a 98 Windstar. So anything else we can do for you?
How about more time?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
What do you want them to drive it for you, too?
Would they do that?
Why don't you go over to your local Ford dealer today? Would you do that?
If your bank is going through a lot of changes lately, now's the time to change to M&T. We're offering great rates, like our 13-month CD at 6% and a 30-month CD at 6.5%. A free $50 U.S. savings bond when you open your CD, and more ways to make banking more convenient for you. So make a change for the better and change to M&T, all the bank you'll ever need.
If you're having debt problems, we can help. We're Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Buffalo.
Your credit counseling program's the best thing that ever happened to us. You taught us how to budget. And next month, we're buying our first home.
Our counseling is free and confidential. We're here to help. Call 854-1710.
In the world of tools, there's only one true craftsman. Craftsman makes anything possible.
Yeah.
They're really your employees, but they feel a lot like your family. You're fond of many of them and accustomed to the rest of them. And for almost 60 years, GHI has been helping employers like you give their employees the kind of health care they want. Employees get direct access to doctors and hospitals throughout New York State, and you get a reasonable price tag for it all. GHI. We put the care back in health care.
Well, there you see it. 4-4 is your score. We're heading to overtime in Game 4 in Philadelphia. Fours are wild, right? Yeah. How about this third period? The Sabres showed some moxie. They came back, and the Flyers, to their credit, they don't want this one to get away, and pretty good period of hockey there.
Well, certainly Buffalo did show a little moxie in that period. They fought and they dug down deep, but I'll tell you, Buffalo looks like a drained hockey club. Tired. It's been a long, hard season for them, Brian. But the good news is, fans, is that Buffalo usually win these types of games, and this is a game where they're being outplayed. The goaltending is spectacular. I'm talking about Shields. Normally, they'll end up winning, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull a win out here in overtime.
I'm sure there'll be some controversy on Renberg's tying goal, but basically, I mean, he had the pad extended, but the puck was just sitting by the pad, and Renberg has every right in the book to go out there and whack away at it. He knocked it in.
As long as the referee doesn't blow the whistle. And what happened was the pad was up like that and the puck was there. You can keep on punching at it. If the pad comes over top and freezes it, well, that's a different story. Then you blow the whistle. But that didn't happen. It was there. They just kept on jamming because there's no whistle blower.
All right, let's see what Willie in Niagara Falls has to offer. Hi, Willie.
How you doing tonight?
Good. What do you think?
Go ahead.
You got about a minute.
I've been watching hockey since San Diego Gulls were a team, and this is one of the worst officiated games I have seen in a long time.
All right, Willie. Not happy with Mr.
What didn't you like, Willie?
Just it's really one-sided. I mean, it's really completely one-sided in this game. A lot of the Lindros has been doing a lot of stuff, and nothing's been called on him either.
Yeah, it's been a tough game as far as penalties are concerned for Buffalo, and no doubt about it, they've had the tough end of it. But I can tell you what happens at a game like this when Philadelphia are so strong and they're just blowing by them that you end up taking penalties trying to pull them down illegally. But still, they've had the bad end of the stick.
I would think it would be very surprising if Rod Schick played a role in this one now. The whistle should be tucked away. It is overtime in Philadelphia. 4-4 is the score.
When you let your clothes do all the talking,
Some for Bob's delivery?
No way.
you could end up delivering all the wrong messages. Call Sim's house.
How are we today?
Fine, thank you.
Our uniforms make sure your business is always well received.
Let's see how much you know about gasoline. Ready? In 1921, who opened the world's first drive-in service station? Your dad used it. His dad used it. Today, Gulf Advent 21 formula keeps fuel injectors clean and helps my car run better than ever before. Whether it's full service or self-serve. For the life of your car, you know the name. Go, go.
Hey, Rochester, Randy Ruhlman is the 42nd winner of $1,000 a week for life. Any suggestions?
There's a lot of places to go. They should go down to Charlotte Beach.
Go to some Red Wing games and soccer games.
They go down to High Falls.
Well, I hope this summer we can go someplace warm. Or let's go to Hawaii, you and I both.
That's it, baby. Win for life. You keep calypsoing, we keep paying.
The Buffalo Sabres battle it out on Empire Sports Network, and Hockey Hotline follows it all. Join host Brian Blessing and Mike Robitaille as they bring you all the scores, highlights, and questions from the fans live on Hockey Hotline tonight.
8 hours of jingle belling and ho-ho-hoing. Boy, I am hoed out.
Wow, this is something. I haven't seen you guys in, what, 20 years? Well, you really went bald there, didn't you?
Fine, you want to be a communist? Be a communist. Can't you at least look like a successful communist? All right. Hey, this guy's a commie! Hey, keep it quiet!
Sunday at 10 on Fox 29.
Hi, I'm Howard Simon, co-host of Fan TV. When the Sabres goaltending situation blew up on Friday, Fan TV gave you extensive coverage from Philadelphia.
He's 100% enough to play, yes, he is.
We're going on the premise that Dominic Hasek's going to be our starting goaltender tonight, unless he can't.
You're asking the wrong guy. You'd have to ask Ted Nolan. But as far as I'm concerned, what Ted's told me, he's playing.
Weeknights at 4:30. Fan TV, your voice, your choice.
Again, getting ready for overtime in Philadelphia. Brian Blessing, Mike Robitaille in the Empire Studios in West Seneca, anxious for this overtime. Sometimes they last a long time. I don't think this one will. You say they're a spent team and a tired team. I think then they take chances to get this over quickly.
Well, I think Buffalo should come out and try to get this over quickly for that reason, but they must get the puck in. They're not going to have too many chances. But one thing they have done well tonight, they've buried their chances. They've had an opportunity. The puck has went in. Of course, Philadelphia, they've had all kinds of chances, and they just kind of nonchalanted it and so on. Well, they're running out of chances. If they don't wake up, Buffalo could really upset them here.
All right, a quick call from Brian in Buffalo. Brian, your take on this one.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Just a quick couple of comments. I just want to let
Very quick,
Steve
please.
Shields is playing great.
Okay.
You know, he's our backbone right now. But I think the defense got to step up and be a little bit more physical. And I think they should actually bench Richard Schmelik for the rest of the season.
Well, the rest of the season could be any moment, but anyway, right now.
Well, the defense right now is being overpowered by a very big machine, and that's the Philadelphia forwards. They're just rolling one wave after another. And I'll tell you, Buffalo, the defense is just hanging on. Please, Buffalo forwards, come back and help out your defense. They really need you here in overtime.
And we hope you'll come back and join us after the game on the hotline. We're sending it back to Philadelphia. Rick and Jim are going to get you ready for OT. See you soon.
Comparing a Sierra to anything else in the corral is like comparing a champion thoroughbred to a petting zoo pony. Because right now, you get the room, the comfort, and 230 of the most powerful horses out there. All at a price that's beyond compare. Lease a Sierra for just $299 a month for 36 months, or get 7.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 60 months. See your Empire State GMC dealer today.
At PC Assistance, we're proud that the Buffalo Sabres call us their preferred computer consultants. We're also very proud to be considered the preferred computer consultants for many companies in Western New York. PC Assistance offers a full range of professional services that are designed to assist you in maximizing the use of your computer systems. PC assistants can easily become the preferred computer consultants for your company, too.
You've got one of these. It came with one of these. But every time you try to use it, you get one of these. Well, call Online Media and get connected to the Internet today. Enjoy email, news groups, and the World Wide Web as it was meant to be, with Online Media's low, flat monthly rate. Sign up now and receive a free copy of Microsoft's Internet Explorer. So call Online Media today, your complete connection to the Internet. We'll give you the World Wide Web instead of the World Wide Wave.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
What a play, Ozzie Smith.
Watch and enjoy. Nothing to it.
Hi, I'm Ozzie Smith, the new host of This Week in Baseball.
Join Ozzie each week for an insider's look at our national pastime, plus all the great plays and bloopers you love. Also new this season, special reports from the one, the only, Tommy Lasorda.
So join me, Ozzie Smith, as we get started on the next 20 years of This Week in Baseball.
Buffalo outscored the Philadelphia Flyers 3-2 in the third period. And that's the reason that this game, the fourth in the series, is the first one that will go to overtime that's coming up next on Empire.
The Buffalo Sabres battle it out on Empire Sports Network, and Hockey Hotline follows it all. Join hosts Brian Blessing and Mike Robitaille as they bring you all the scores, highlights, and questions from the fans live on Hockey Hotline tonight.
Right now at West Herr Ford, you can lease a 98 Windstar, fully loaded with dual airbags, air conditioning, AM/FM cassette, and more. All for just $269 a month for 24 months. And with every purchase, you'll also get West Herr's dedicated staff, who guarantee your West Herr experience will be a pleasant one. The 98 Ford Windstar, proudly brought to you by the friendly folks at West Herr Ford, where we stand by every vehicle we sell. West Herr Ford, Camp Road, corner of Southwestern in Hamburg.
It's the perfect landing. It's a special holiday. It's friendly blue, waiting there for you. It's traveling your way.
For a limited time, you can rent a brand new mid-size Dodge Stratus and pay compact rate at any of 5 Buffalo area thrifty locations.
Oh, it's thrifty. Renting cars with 5 worldwide.
All right, folks, it's time to play Jeopardy! And our categories today are as follows: Jocks and Jocks, Crazy Fans,
Boy, I'll tell you, these people are going crazy.
Cool Cups, finally, Famous Stanleys.
There's nothing like it, folks.
Ooh, please phrase your response in the form of a question. No, sorry, I'm afraid the correct response is, what is Cup Crazy? Cup Crazy.
Ice cold beer here. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store is your place for hot deals on ice cold beer every day, all the time. Cold beer, great prices, awesome selection carried out to your car. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store. If you're looking for ice cold beer, come to Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store, your place for cold beer. And right now at Consumers, get Molson bottles for only $10.49 after mail-in rebate. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store.
Catch all your favorite sports talk as hosts Bob Kaczynski and Art Wander bring you Fan Forum, live Mondays at 5:30 on Empire Sports Network.
After you get by the first line of the stats, you might say, how the heck is Buffalo still in the game? Well, a lot of it's got to do with Steve Shields.
And the faceoffs also controlled by a large margin by Philadelphia, but Shields again, a strong performance here tonight for Buffalo. Sabres with an opportunity to win it in overtime, 500 this year and 500 all-time.
And as Garth Snow gets ready for the OT period, Flyers have not been extended this year. They're about 500 over the years.
Now, Garth Snow, of course, inexperienced as far as playoffs are concerned. Steve Shields, inexperienced as far as playoffs are concerned in the National Hockey League. And Ted Nolan, boy, his club, not unusual, battling away, scratching, clawing, and sending this game to overtime. They, of course, had the lead in the third period a couple of times, but could not hold it.
Well, the teams will begin the OT and nobody in the penalty box. And it slides back to Schmelik. Schmelik attempting to get away. Fired in by Pekka, wide of the net. The goaltender plays it. Tipped around and sent up on the wing. Here's Balloon. In over the line to Brindamore. Brindamore spins and goes down. Shannon with a long pass. Back the other way to Audette. Audette ripped his shot. No! Reached out and picked that one off as Donald Audette went short side. Let's go down now to Dennis Williams.
Thanks, guys. I talked to head coach Ted Nolan before the start of this period, and he said all he told the guys was they've worked way too hard not to send this thing back to Buffalo. He also said the referee did explain that that puck was never tied up on the tying goal, and Shields never really had control of it, and he understood the call. He wasn't real happy with it, but he did understand the call. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, Robbie Schick's going to have to explain it to me then.
Me too. Because that puck certainly, in my opinion, was held long enough for a whistle. And as I mentioned, though, Rob Schick in his defense at one time was blocked, could not see the position of the puck. I think that's what threw him off, and that's why he wasn't sure, and he didn't blow the whistle.
Now, after the big save by Snow, the face-off to his left. Just underway in overtime. Goes in to Desjardins. Desjardins got it off the boards. Podine flipping it ahead. Brindamore will tap one in. Galley back after it, but Shields turns it around, and it's poked by Burridge back into the Philadelphia zone. Covered back there by Therrien. Works it around to Klatt. Klatt slinging one all the way through center. Shannon has to catch up with that. Shannon ducks away from one and now swings it to Burridge. Buffalo's changing. Burridge took the long shot. Snow grabs it, scooped it away. And the Flyers will send this one down the ice, but it won't go far enough for icing either. Zhitnik picking it on. Teams are changing. Zhitnik starting away. He wants to go himself. He'll flip it in, and this one is going to be icing as Dykhouse is back to pick it up.
See, both clubs a little tentative here and unsure. Had a couple of icing calls and a couple of calls that were close to icing. I'll tell you, I've watched Alex Zhitnik play most of the games this year for Buffalo, and I'm marveling tonight at his skating ability. He's an incredible skater. He's on the ice again. He has logged probably the most ice time of anyone, and he is still skating as well as he did in the opening 20 minutes of play. And he has constantly been on the ice along with Schmelik against the Lindros line, and he's there again.
Into the corner, Renberg coming up with it. Renberg around behind the net. Got out in front. It got checked. Back to the blue line, but not out. Kept in now with Lindros panning on it. Back in the corner, Pekka bumping in there with LeClaire. Sabres recover the puck, and it's tipped back through the middle. This one is going to miss everybody, but there'll be no icing this time. So, leaving it back behind the net. Buffalo changing up on defense. Pass for Dykhouse. Dykhouse looking for room as he gains center ice. He'll sail it in. Down behind the net. Shields knocking it down. Guns it in the other direction. Lindros keeping it in. Here's LeClaire twisting around behind the goal. Right out in front. Taken away and slipped up on the wing. Sabres starting back again. Dumped in by Dawn. That'll be poked into the corner. Ninema fired it around on the boards, and they're ruling the Sabres did not gain center ice, so they'll call it an icing call again.
And Jason Daw immediately goes after the one linesman and points and says, yes, I did gain the red line, but another icing and another face-off in the Sabre zone. And let's see, the Sabres send out Derek Plant along with Barnaby and Groshek for this draw. Jason Daw did not play much in the third period. Now is walking up and down the hallway at the Buffalo bench and heading to the dressing room.
Anton Brindamore waiting for the linesman to drop the puck. Finally does. It's tipped back to the point. Swoboda keeping it in to Falloon. Falloon ducking around in the corner. Took his shot and fired it wide. Found on the boards. Groshek did not get it out. Brindamore keeping it in. Now Groshek picks it up and slips it out over the line. Up ahead. Barnaby could not get it to Platt. It's knocked down at the blue line. Howardchuk feeding it into the corner. Galley riding it around to Groshek again. He scoops it high in the air and sends it out through center ice. To Ninema. Ninema for Swoboda. Swoboda squeezing it ahead. Brindamore cleared it to an open wing. Howardchuk after the puck. He'll flip one in. Back there is Galley. Flyers are changing again. Now whipped up on the wing. Groshek split it through center. Jardin tipping it ahead. It's gunned in by Zubras. Shields to play it around on the boards. Shannon tying up LeClaire, but it came in front. Lindros shot it wide. Lindros after it again, trying to get it out in front. Get around on the boards, kept in there by LeClaire. LeClaire to Lindros again. Lindros curling around, didn't get the shot away. Barnaby took it away from him. Barnaby banks it off the boards to the blue line. Not out. Flyers keep it in again. Shields will handle this one and give it to Shannon. Smokes it on the boards, doesn't get it out. Buffalo with another chance, can't get it out of there. Zubras keeping it in. Here's Lindros, cleared it in front. Shannon seals it away. Cleared back into the corner again. Barnaby can't get it out. Kept in by LeClaire. LeClaire out in front. The shot. Shields to save the rebound. And Shields covers up and hangs on to that. And Lindros comes over and tags Barnaby.
I think it would be safe to say the Sabres were dead tired on that shift. Barnaby is still mixing it up, this time with John LeClaire, but a great shift by Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, and Zubras, but they couldn't score. But boy, did they ever have Buffalo going Sabres zone. Just impossible to stop once they start moving the puck down low. Goaltender Shields covers up on the loose puck to the left of the Buffalo net. Here's the goal cam. They had 2 or 3 great chances to score. Lindros had one before that opportunity.
Well, if he gets an opportunity to go, this would be the time to do it with Desjardins. Terrien playing on defense for Philadelphia, but the Flyers keep it in. Tucking it back into Klatt. He's tied up by Schmelik. Rolls behind the net. Came out in front. Shields grabs that one and hangs on. And now another pile up in front of the net. The puck is lying way out in front of the net. But Otto came in there and he got wiped out.
This could be the stage of a hockey game where Ted Nolan calls a timeout. His club is under great pressure. They look dead tired. And it might not be a bad idea to stop it right here and get his team to the bench and settle them down, because the Flyers have been knocking on the door since they dropped the puck to start this overtime. And if nothing else, to give Steve Shields a rest, who has just been sensational tonight. 41 shots on goal to 21 for Buffalo. And now Terry Murray sends the Lindros line back onto the ice. Ted Nolan cannot get the Pekka line out there. He can't make the change at this point.
So Holzinger's job will be to face off against Lindros. Tipped around behind the net. Zhitnik corralling it. There's Zhitnik away now. Zhitnik looking for skating room as he comes to center and flings one in, and that'll allow Buffalo to change. Tipped up on the wing. Zubras had it go off his skate. That's broken up. Flipped right back in again by Ward. Desjardins charging after it. Pekka steps into him. Fed around on the boards and tapped out to center. Zubras coming away with Lindros. Lindros in over the line. Back for Lindros. The backhand knocked away. Into the blue line. Pekka steals it off. Giving it to Ward. Ward through center ice. Zhitnik comes in over the line. Offside. Daw couldn't get out of the way in time.
Jason Daw a couple of minutes ago, went to the Buffalo dressing room and returned, and now he's going back in again. Having an equipment problem or whether he has an injury, but Alex Zhitnik continues to want the puck for Buffalo. Steve Shields, I think that look tells it all. He has been under intense pressure tonight for most of this hockey game, doing everything he can to help Buffalo win the first game of the series and send it back to the Marine Midland Arena for a Sunday afternoon matchup against the Flyers. Zhitnik told me before Game 3 here in Philadelphia that he was going to rush the puck more, and he did it in Game 3, continues to do it here tonight.
Svoboda will catch up with it in the corner. He'll dump it around in Enema. Enema flips it, and this will end up going back through the middle. Galley catching up with it ahead of Brindamore. Galley to May. May, cross-ice pass. Wugner kicks it ahead, now whips it into the corner. May charging in after it. Snow's way out of the net. And he cleared it up ahead to Brindamore. Brindamore got it in over the line to Renberg. He left it there. Holzinger takes it away. Wugner steering it up to May again. May in over the line. Took his shot. Snow the same. The rebound. And it's cleared by the Flyers all the way down the ice. Shields coming out to play it. There's no icing. Shields let it go, but it didn't cross the line. Zhitnik a pass up through the middle. Here comes Groshek in. Groshek now busting. Cleared it in front. Barnaby couldn't get there. Schmelik keeping it in. Feeds it to Groshek. Out in front. Didn't get the shot on. And it slides to the blue line. Zhitnik charging after it. Tipped it back in, but it's going to be called now on an offside.
14:28 to go in this first overtime period here in Philadelphia. Alex Zhitnik up front with the forwards for yet another time. This line of Barnaby, Groshek, and Derek Plant. A pretty good night this evening. This is Brad May. Quick shot that Snow had some problems with. Sometimes the shoulder pads are so big that when it bounces off them, the rebound goes in all kinds of directions. You can't get to them. I think that happened on that play.
That's what happens when a puck hits teeth.
That's right. Polished teeth, no doubt, underneath that jersey.
Desjardins. Marianne got it to center. Schmelik broke it up. Whacks at it again. It's dribbled in the other direction. Now floated back through the middle and taken by the Flyers. In over the line. The long shot. Shields kicking that away as Otto let it go. Zhitnik in the corner. Twists it ahead to Plant. Plant starting out to center. Plant's got Barnaby going with him. Plant in over the line. Took his shot. Snow got a glove on that. And it ends up going all the way to Otto. He comes to center, and here come the Flyers 2-on-1. In over the line. Podine cleared it in front. Shields with a huge save on Therrien. Buffalo coming back to Groshek. Here's Groshek racing in. Trying to clear it in front. Backhand. Snow kicks it away. Groshek couldn't get it to Barnaby. Now he whacks at it again. Knocks it back in the corner. Head around on the boards to the blue line. Not out. Galley a long shot. Bouncer. Rebound. Scores! Eddie Ronan. Eddie Ronan coming off the bench. He sails in and drills it home. And the Buffalo Sabres in overtime send this one back to Mother's Day in Buffalo.
What a great stop, though, by Steve Shields to make this goal by Ed Ronan possible. A 2-on-1 break, and Shields pulled off a brilliant save. Buffalo turned it back the other way, and Ed Ronan scores for Buffalo here in overtime to win it 5-4, his first of the playoffs, and it's huge. And the Sabres, again, find a way to win. Snow could not control the rebound in front, and I think what we saw tonight, the bench reacts, the Sabres finding a way to win the hockey game, and if you get quality chances on Snow, you're going to score some goals.
Well, Ronan doesn't get many shifts in a hockey game, but he knew what to do with this one. It wasn't long, just long enough to pound it home and send this series to another game.
Ice cold beer here. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store is your place for hot deals on ice-cold beer every day, all the time. Cold beer, great prices, awesome selection carried out to your car. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store. If you're looking for ice-cold beer, come to Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store, your place for cold beer. And right now at Consumers, get Molson bottles for only $10.49 after mail-in rebate. Consumers Beverages Buffalo's Beer Store.
Why was Auto Choice the right choice for you?
The average car cost $20,000. We had 12.
I picked out my car on the computer. No haggle prices. I didn't have to negotiate.
Variety, they have over 300 choices.
And I browsed while she was in the playroom.
Auto Choice, the right choice.
I liked the price guarantee.
We got a great deal.
It was quick, easy, and painless. It just felt good buying here.
Auto Choice, best selection, lowest price guaranteed.
The NJC AA Division III College World Series is back in Batavia for another year. Come out and see the Stars of Tomorrow in this year's tournament at Dwyer Stadium, May 17th through the 23rd. Tickets for the 18 double elimination tournament are on sale now, $3 a day or $12 for a tournament pass. Don't miss exciting college baseball at its very best. To reserve your front row seat, call 343-5454 now.
Here we go. Welcome back to the Core State Center, where the Sabres win in overtime in Game 4-5 for the final. One of the stars of the game, Steve Shields, joins us now. I know you were going in this game until really the last minute. How did that affect you out there?
Not really. I just prepared today to play, and it chance that I'd still be playing, so I just made sure I was ready to go. And happened that Dom hurt himself again. I had to go in.
Just made some big saves in overtime. Talk about some of the saves you made to keep your team in it and give them a chance to win the game late.
Just a couple of wraparounds. I just tried to get my body down and in front, and then the 2-on-1, the guy got a shot away, and I managed to pad across and get it on it, and we got the break and put.
Steve, any nervousness out there going in overtime? You've had so many overtimes now. You had 2 in the other series and so many tight games throughout the playoffs so far. Any nervousness at all going into the overtime?
No, not really. I'm really past that point now. I'm just focused on going out there and doing the job, and whatever happens is going to happen, regardless if I'm uptight or relaxed and having a good time.
Steve, how about that 4th goal by the Flyers? I know you were just irate about it. Do you think you had that puck tied up?
Yeah, I had it, and if you give a guy enough whacks at it, eventually you'll probably put it in. But I was looking for a whistle, but we didn't get it, and he's got to continue to play and just stay focused.
Do you think you're going to be the starter in Game 5, or just coasting with this thing? When you're asked to go, you go?
I don't know. I don't have any idea. If I'm told to play, then I'll play. If not, then I'll happily sit on the bench.
Steve, what was the attitude going into this one? I know you guys sort of want to just peck away and win one at a time, one period, one shift at a time.
That's right, and that's all we did. Decided that we had to go out there and things that we did well, that we weren't focused on doing that, and then really came back in the 3rd period and it's all on the line.
All right, thanks very much. Steve Shields, our guest here on the postgame. When we come back, Rick Jenneret and Jim Lorenz will have more from the Core State Center, where the Sabres win Game 4 in overtime, 5 for the final.
Sometimes life is an uphill battle. Handle it. Dunlop Tires, made with pride in Western New York.
Right now at West Her Ford, you can lease a 98 Windstar, fully loaded with dual airbags, air conditioning, AM/FM cassette, and more. All for just $269 a month for 24 months. And with every purchase, you'll also get West Her's dedicated staff who guarantee your West Her experience will be a pleasant one. The 98 Ford Windstar, proudly brought to you by the friendly folks at West Her Ford, where we stand by every vehicle we sell. West Her Ford, Camp Road, corner of Southwestern in Hamburg.
How much would you expect to pay for a world-class luxury sedan with a 190 horsepower V6, sunroof, a leather-appointed interior, and an impressive list of standard features? How much would you pay? That's too much. The Infiniti i30. Uncompromising luxury and an exceptional value.
Visa 930 now with $399 down at Auto Place Infiniti, Main Street, Williamsville.
I had to go out of town, so my best friend said Max could stay with them. Max and Charlie got along great, except that Max kept eating Charlie's food, Purina One brand. So I checked. There's no better nutrition, and Purina One lamb and rice formula has real lamb as the #1 ingredient. That designer dog food I'd been feeding Max has corn as the #1 ingredient. Oh, Max eats Purina One now, and we both couldn't be happier.
The only period the Buffalo Sabres outshot the Philadelphia Flyers was in overtime, and it led to the winning goal by Ed Ronan. Sabres certainly made it another exciting
adventure,
night,
wasn't it? I mean, you have to admire them. This is a club that I suppose we shouldn't be surprised, but we always seem to be at the way they manage to pull things out of the fire, because they've done it countless times this year. Again, if they lose, of course, their season would have been over, and here they go in the third period, just putting together a furious effort and carrying it over into the overtime. But you can't say enough again about Steve Shields with the game played tonight. Boy, in that 2-on-1 break, that was an incredible stop he made. Buffalo went right down to the other end, and Ed Ronan, who came off the bench, ended up putting it in for Buffalo.
I have the strange feeling as we look at our best Dodge 3 stars from tonight's hockey game that you're going to find the name of Steve Shields there, and indeed you will. All 3 stars being selected as Buffalo Sabres. Ronan #1, Shields #2, and Eric Plant the 3rd star in the hockey game. Sabres, of course, now have forced this into another game, so it's going back on Sunday afternoon in Buffalo at the Marine Midland Arena.
That place, of course, in Buffalo, the arena should be rocking for that game. Also I'd like to put my own star in there. Alex Zhitnik, I thought was just incredible tonight for Buffalo. And you know, the Flyers, again, he's playing against those top 3 guys all the time, along with Richard Schmelik, but he came up with a huge effort tonight.
This series is indeed going to at least 5 games now. A lot of people had written off the Sabres. Not so, says Buffalo. Not so fast. Not so fast. Our next game on Empire will be a 6th game, if necessary, coming to you from the Core State Center on Tuesday night. Buffalo wins it in overtime. Ed Ronan's goal, 5-4. Rick Jenneret for Jim Lorenz and Dennis Williams. Good night from Philly.
5-4 your final. We've seen this team do it before all season long. They live to play another day. That day comes Sunday.
Yeah, I knew this hockey club had it in the bag all the way. I'll tell you, boy, if anything you ever learned from this show, that goaltending is everything, especially in the playoffs. My hat goes off to Steve Shields. He was magnificent tonight. Once again, gave his hockey club a chance to win a hockey game, and that they did. We're back to the Marine Midland Arena. Can't beat that. Good for the fans, good for the organization, good for Brian and I, right?
Yeah, baby.
Okay, let's talk hockey. That's coming up next on the hotline. Join us, won't you?
Sabres needed oxygen in OT and win the game.
Well, I'll tell you, Brian, this team amazes me. The years I've been around hockey, I've never, ever seen anything quite like it. I mean, it seems like this team, I don't know. It seems like the more the other team beats on them, the more games they win. They just, I don't know, they find a way to come back.